talks about they indicted. The president said they indicted him twice.
Mr. Chairman, please stop the clock and restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
The time belongs to the gentleman from New York. We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when you ask a question, the witness gets to answer. You may not like the answer, but she gets to answer.
The question was, how many of Epstein?
They don't like the answer, Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest. So he asked a 4-minute question.
Restore 45
and
seconds,
I am
Mr. Neville,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch. Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I
anything,
did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
Lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Time that I should get back at least 45 seconds.
We will give you a few more seconds. I said that already.
45 seconds.
Okay, I'm timing right now, Mr.
Talks about they indicted.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the following program. I am your host, Joe Nierman, a.k.a. Good Lawgic. That was Pam Bondi in having what was arguably her best moment to date in her role as Attorney General as she was yelling at Jamie Raskin. You don't tell me anything, you washed up loser lawyer, not even a lawyer. Look, I have bashed Pam Bondi as much as anyone. Well, maybe not as much as anyone. I mean, some people have got like literally voodoo dolls of her. I just say she's incompetent, useless, and should be fired. But I bashed her. But I pride myself on the fact that when someone has a good moment, I'm going to tip my cap to them. And that's appropriate. You know, if someone says something that I agree with, I got to say, well done. And that was a good moment for her. I was like, you know what? Let me share that with you guys. You probably, in case you haven't seen that moment of her calling Jamie Raskin a washed up loser lawyer. Oh, that was funny. I liked it. So I was like, look, if she can give us a moment of joy, there's so many moments of agony with Pam Bondi for those of us who support a MAGA type of agenda, that if she gives us a moment of joy, I think we should take a moment and just say, all right, well done there. Even though some of the stuff she did in her hearing today was somewhat of a disappointment. Tonight, what do I have for you? Well, we have, unfortunately, alas, James Van Der Beek has passed away. And I think it's important that we take a moment to acknowledge his passing, especially because the final message that he left to the public, I thought, was one that was very inspirational and very pleasingly apolitical. Completely apolitical, and I like when we're often critiquing Hollywood for sticking its nose into politics, and when his final message could have certainly been something that would have been highly political, and instead he gave a very uplifting, heartwarming, and important message. So I think it's important to acknowledge his passing. So I definitely want to spend a few minutes talking about that. Also, Target has been under siege by anti-ICE. We're going to look a little bit at what's been going on around the country with different sit-ins and protests that are happening at different targets. Who would have thought that when the woke left wants to go after a corporation, the first one they would go after is like the unitard the unitard selling, like, we don't know whose bathing suit this is, marketplace of Target. I wouldn't have thought that would be first on their list, but apparently they became the first national chain in America which felt the lash of anti-ICE protesters, specifically in that there was a targeted attack on Target. There's no question that that's what we saw today. We'll see some of the ramifications from that. And perhaps most importantly, Congress was in complete upheaval today. Some of the things they did, specifically in the House, much less the Senate than the House. The House had a very good moment, a very bad moment, and then a very weird moment. And we're going to be covering all of that and more today on today's show. I also have, as listed in the description, I think I have something on the Woke Miss America contest, and a contestant who got bounced out for not being sufficiently woke, as well as a moronic sheriff who is very strongly anti-ICE and was embarrassed when he was facing questions in public inquiry about his failure to work together with ICE. All that and more coming up. But this show would not be a show without having my good friend and colleague over here co-producing, because seeing as how it's Wednesday, we bring on in here Sin. How are you?
I'm good, man. I've been protesting Target because of the prices of their ice, like up front, the bags of ice. That's what we're doing, right? It's
Yes.
Anti-ice protest.
That's if
Dude,
only.
$1.79 is just way too expensive for like 4 or 5 pounds of ice, and I'm sick of it. And so I think everybody in the chat, everybody in the following, should join me and go protest against Target, right?
Well, if you're anti-ICE, you're not alone. I'm going to actually start with, since we're talking about ICE now, okay?
Yeah.
So since you went there, I'm going to start off with that sheriff.
I've been drinking all my drinks room temp.
Speaking of room temp, that's like pretty much the IQ of the guy we're about to watch here in this clip. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable that these are people who have authority over us. These are people who have, can actually be making decisions about your life.
You're gonna make me so mad, aren't you? Already, just out the gate, it's a
90-second clip, and you watch this thing, and you're just sort of like, oh my god, how dumb are these people?
I'm ready.
How dumb are they?
I am braced. I'm holding on to my chair right now. Just
let's check this out.
What branch of government do you operate under? Mecklenburg County.
What branch of government? I don't know. Can you hear? Is the audio
Yeah,
okay? What branch of government do you operate under? He says Mecklenburg County. That's the branch of government he operates under.
That's your jurisdiction, sir. Can you could you tell me, in that jurisdiction, what part of the government are you a part of?
What part of the government? I mean, you would think, right? What part of the government are you? I'm part of Mecklenburg County.
I'm also a part of Mecklenburg County, sir.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
What branch of government do you operate under, Sheriff?
He even tells him. He tells him. He tells him.
This is astonishing.
He tells him.
Correct.
He doesn't fully tell him. You can see how confused he is. I'm gonna hype the volume up a little
bump
bit
that
here.
volume up a little bit, because this is great already.
Yeah, I knew you would enjoy this. We'll take it from the top. Let's see if this is better now.
What branch of government do you operate under? Mecklenburg County. What branch of government do you operate under, Sheriff?
Hint.
Constitution of the United States. Is what establishes the branches of government.
This guy can stop you and take you to jail.
Yes, he could
stop you and take you to jail, and he can barely walk and chew gum. I bet you he's been told not to chew gum.
He's making decisions about whether or not they should cooperate with ICE. Like, he's interpreting the law. This guy is making decisions. It's bigger than that, Joe. This guy is making decisions of whether you live or die if he stopped you. Yeah.
Oof.
Asking which branch you fall under.
Mecklenburg County. I'm a duly sworn Mecklenburg County Sheriff. We answer to the people of Mecklenburg County.
This was not where I was anticipating getting stuck.
All right. I thought we could be better than this. I thought he's like, this wasn't like a gotcha. This was just a basic understanding your role in this whole system, in this whole thing. Where are you at? Yeah.
Are you aware of how many branches of government there are?
No.
Okay. For the sake of...
So we're not aware of how many branches of government there are. So
of debate, I will move on and say there are 3 branches of government: legislative, executive, judicial. Of those 3, Which do you believe you fall under?
I believe I fall under the last one.
Nope. This is. I'm going to tell you what the branches of government are, and then you tell me which one of those you think you fit into.
How about you
Two
pick
branches.
one, sir?
Wanna
How about
go-
you tell me,
wanna go for
smart
best 2
ass?
out of 3?
Government,
Oh,
legislative, executive, judicial. Of those 3, which do you believe you fall under?
I believe I fall under the last one.
Would you say it to me?
Judicial.
I think maybe.
I think maybe the last one. Maybe I'm judicial. There you go.
It's it's whatever.
Right. He's all about the law.
You are incorrect, sir. You fall under the executive. And as a member of the executive, what do you believe your primary function is?
Care and custody of those in my custody at the Mecklenburg County Detention Center.
That is part of what your responsibilities as sheriff are, sure. But as a member of the executive, your primary function is to execute upon the law, to enforce.
No, I think it's probably to sit here and look pretty, sir. That's what I think. How about that? How do you feel about that, sir? How about I ask you some questions now?
North Carolina lawmaker made a fool out of high-powered sheriff while asking basic questions about the U.S. government. Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden went before the North Carolina House Oversight Committee on Monday to discuss the southern state's crime rate. While there, Republican Representative Alan Chesser questioned McFadden on his civics knowledge. What branch of government you operate under? We heard all this. And so we're not going to review that back and forth, that cluster fart of an exchange.
Sir, I haven't taken civics class since 8th grade. Now, how about you, smarty pants?
But the point to those questions, this is why I'm sharing this, is we're leading up to Chester asking how Mecklenburg County maintains its obligation to the state's executive branch, which is led by Governor Josh Stein, by refusing to cooperate with ICE. Previously, McFadden said his deputies do not have a role in enforcement whatsoever. We do not have to follow the rules and laws that are governed by our lawmakers in Raleigh. This is what this guy thinks. McFadden clarified that he meant his deputies do not have to assist ICE. Oh, okay. Well, you're wrong about that too. McFadden has now technically they don't have to unless the state government tells them. Under the state, a state can decide we're not going to cooperate with ICE. They do have that authority under the law, which is, to my mind, a foolish holding by the Supreme Court. But they do have that right under the Supreme Court. Again, I disagree with that Supreme Court holding. Don't tell me how wrong that is. I'm just telling you what the Supreme Court says, not that I agree with it. I think that they should be obligated to comply with ICE. How do you have any sort of consistency between federal and state branches of government if they can just totally tell the federal government, go to hell? Doesn't make any sense. But once the state has agreed to work with ICE, it's not this guy's call anymore. Now it's the state is now directing him, and he has to follow what the state says. McFadden has faced scrutiny about cooperating with ICE after Irina Zarutska, the Ukrainian refugee, was fatally stabbed. She was fatally stabbed by DeCarlos Brown Jr. on public transportation in Charlotte, which is Mecklenburg County. I guess allegedly because he's not convicted yet.
Yeah, I was about to say that has to be it, right?
Yeah, that's probably why they're saying it like that. Although some law enforcement does fall under the executive branch on a federal and state level, not every law enforcement agency does. Federally, okay, I don't really care about their stupid assessments of law from the Daily Mail out of UK. Thank you for breaking that down for me. However, in October, North Carolina passed a law that forced local police and sheriffs to work more closely with ICE. So now the state law is you have to work together with them. House Bill 318 was signed into law in July and became effective on October 1. It requires local law enforcement to determine the citizenship status of prisoners. If they cannot verify a person's citizenship or find prisoners are here illegally, law enforcement is required to notify Homeland Security, which controls ICE. ICE can also issue detainers, which law enforcement is expected to abide by.
Okay.
Governor Stein, who's a Democrat, vetoed the bill in June, calling it unconstitutional, because he's an idiot too, because it's not unconstitutional. But Stein said he supported aiding ICE if a person was charged with serious crimes such as sexual battery or armed robbery, but didn't agree with ICE being able to extend the detainment of a prisoner. Wrong. The State House and Senate later overrode his veto. You know how hard that is to override a veto? They overrode his veto, passing the bill 7248 and 3019, respectively. So that's why he was up there for questioning.
Good job. Way to,
Yeah. Look at this. Bob Loves Alaska saying, love it when sin is on with you. Well, thank you kindly.
Yeah, thank you. But that's a compliment to me, not you, I don't think.
Yeah. Is it?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just here.
Yes, you are just here.
I'm just here, man. We had a very long weekend streaming this weekend. So
did you?
Yeah, we did 18 hours worth of streams, not counting Fridays. So
well, I'm glad you were able to dig down deep and get it done. I said I wanted to I wanted to cover James Van Der Beek. So I'm gonna take care
let's
of
do
that.
that.
Now.
I saw the thumbnail. I was actually perusing Twitter right before the show, and I saw the thumbnail, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna steer clear of the James Van Der Beek situation, like the videos and stuff everybody's putting out, to see it with you. You know.
Well, if you're a little older than Sin, if you're Gen X, you probably have relatively fond memories of Dawson's Creek if you ever really understood it, because I never felt like I did. Like that show was actually a little past my time. Like it was like a teen drama, because it was like a teen drama when I was in my late 20s, you know. Yeah. So it was a little behind me.
Yeah.
But I remember like just tuning in like for 5-10 minutes here and there, and the dialogue was like the deepest dialogue you can possibly imagine. Like there's this whole psychoanalysis which is being thrown out by Joshua Jackson and James Van Der Beek, and what was her name? The one who played Joey. Everyone, you all know her name. The one who she married Tom Cruise.
Oh, dark-haired girl.
Yes.
I can't think of her name. I got her face in my head. The chat's gonna tell us. They're way smarter than us.
Yeah, Katie Holmes. There you go.
Thanks, chat.
Thanks, chat. So they're calling a millennial show. Like I said, it was a little behind me.
Was it a millennial show? I mean, I'm a millennial and I didn't watch it. I was too young to watch it. So
anyway, it did come out. I guess it came out in the early aughts, probably. And then he was in Varsity Blues. Yeah. He seemed always like a very brainy guy. Anyway, there's a whole article here, which we're not going to go through in detail, but inside James Van Der Beek's heartbreaking final days, friends reveal hospice agony, his secret final battle, and his stirring last stand. Just go a little bit through this. 3 weeks ago, a spirited James Van Der Beek disavowed New Year's resolutions. Why are we celebrating New Year's in the dead of winter? He proclaimed in a video posted to Instagram. Time to celebrate a new beginning and new you, and a new resolution is the spring. But Dawson's Creek star would not make it to the vernal equinox. On Wednesday, Van Der Beek died after a 2-year battle with colon cancer at age 48. Isn't that horrifying?
That's terrifying, first of all. Second of all, like, I noticed it was a couple years ago he was getting big on social media again. I think he was I don't know if he returned to if he became a devout Christian or not. That I can't remember, but he was doing this sort of homesteading, I'm no longer a celebrity sort of social media run, and I found it very wholesome and heartwarming.
Yeah.
Whenever I'd run across one of his videos, I was like, that's nice to see somebody from Hollywood not out here doing crazy stuff, and just a family man. He had a beautiful family, man. So yeah, he died. He
did have. He leaves behind a very beautiful family, a wife and 6 kids.
Yeah.
His apparent optimism, however, seemed to shroud the reality of his final days. One's a source exclusively told Daily Mail that was spent decline in hospice care. James was on hospice for several weeks and was rail thin when he passed, the source said. He was mostly in bed because he was very weak and he was not eating. And while his family were there with him, the source said it became increasingly hard to watch the man they revere as their patriarch deteriorate before their very eyes. 48 years old. He was in hospice. They held his hand. They were there for him, but he has been hard because James was so ill. He was so weak, the source continued. He had so much charisma. He was a wonderful soul, and his presence is missed. Those poor little kids. Here's a little clip of it.
My name is James Vanderbeek, and I was diagnosed with colorectal cancer in August of 2023.
This is not the clip I was talking about, but
And so I was faced with the question, if I am just a
I'm actually going to play that full clip of this, so we'll share that.
Yeah,
But this
that's
is-
one I was avoiding because I kind of figured that'd be the one you were playing. So yeah.
Yeah. This is him with his family shortly before he was diagnosed, because this kid is now 4 years old and he's been fighting colon cancer for 2.5 years. So this kid looks like he's less than a year and a half. So there you go. That's his family. Like you said, beautiful family. They seem just very wholesome. He leaves behind Kimberly Vanderbeek and his 6 children: Olivia, Joshua, Annabelle, Amelia, Gwendolyn, and Jeremiah, ranging in age between 15 and 4. So yeah, that's him with Stacy Keibler from WWE, ex-WWE star Stacy Keibler, who had only beautiful things to say about him. Vanderbeek leaves behind his wife and 6 kids. This is very hard for the family. Totally broken up was passing because he was the patriarch. He was the leader, the source said. There are puddles of tears everywhere, and it all falls on Kimberly's shoulders. Then there was a crushing cost that accompanied his colorectal cancer, with which he was diagnosed in 2023. He had required near constant doctor appointments, painful treatments that rendered him unable to work. His last consistent job was on the Disney Junior animated show Vampirina, which he worked on from 2017 until 2021. But he had not been in treatment for a while because there was nothing more that doctors could do. It was a very aggressive cancer. So, very sad.
Yeah.
Very, very sad. I mean, you can see how he withered away as a 48-year-old man, just withering away.
Yeah, I saw some of these videos and I was like, wow, I assumed he was way older than 48 when I was watching these. So.
No, I knew he was younger than me.
finding that your new
Well, everybody's younger than you.
Possible to keep. I'm going to say something. I don't think it's your fault. I think it makes total sense. Why are we celebrating a new year in the dead of winter? Why are we celebrating new beginnings at a time when nature rests? Animals are hibernating. Birds fly south for the winter. The time to celebrate a new beginning and a new you and a new resolution is in the spring, at the vernal equinox, when the flowers bloom and it gets warmer and the birds return. That's how nature does it. Why are we fighting nature? I mean, all due respect to Pope Gregory VIII, who saddled us with this Gregorian calendar system.
You see, he's like so intelligent. He's like, he was a very intelligent. It was very obvious that all three of them were very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
That that they didn't just focus on their looks, which he became an instant heartthrob. So all three of them became instant heartthrobs.
Yeah.
But that they selected a cast that was highly intelligent.
But it just makes absolutely no sense. Plus, hear me out on this one. If March is the first month of the year, that means September is the 7th, October the 8th, November the 9th, December the 10th. You see where I'm going with this, right? So I'm going to say, screw it. I'm going to take the winter to recover, to rest, and I'm going to make New Year's resolutions in the spring. Who's with?
It was very sweet.
Logical. Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to share his final message. I don't want to spend the whole show talking about this, but I am going to share his final message because I thought his final message was really beautiful. So, this is the final words that James Vanderbeek gave the world. And by all accounts, he was a really good soul. And this is a loss.
Today's my birthday, and it has been the hardest year of my life, and I wanted to share something that I learned with y'all. When I was younger, I used to define myself as an actor, right? Which was never really all that fulfilling. And then I became a husband, and that was much better. And then I became a father, and that was the ultimate. I could define myself then as a loving, capable, strong, supportive husband, father, provider, steward of the land that we're so lucky to live on. And for a long time, that felt like a really good definition to the question, who am I? What am I? And then this year, really good definition, I had to look my own mortality in the eye. I had to come nose to nose with death. And all of those definitions that I cared so deeply about were stripped from me. I was away for treatment, so I could no longer be a husband that was helpful to my wife. I could no longer be a father who could pick up his kids and put them to bed and be there for them. I could not be a provider because I wasn't working. I couldn't even be a steward of the land because at times I was too weak to prune all the trees during the window that you're supposed to prune them. And so I was faced with the question, if I am just a too skinny, weak guy alone in an apartment with cancer, what am I? And I meditated and the answer came through. I am worthy of God's love simply because I exist. And if I'm worthy of God's love, shouldn't I also be worthy of my own?
This is like something you would never expect someone coming out of, growing up in Hollywood, because he was relatively young when he was in Hollywood. That he, that he pretty much grew up in Hollywood to, end his life with this type of messaging is something that should give heart. That like you can make it through the gauntlet of Hollywood and still end up having a healthy perspective.
I think it comes from never wanting more than than what's in front of him, right? Like he's a great actor. He done some really good movies. He had a lot of good roles, but it's like it comes off to me like he was happy where he was. You know what I mean? He never clamored for more.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a great point. That's a really great point. There's actually an ancient Jewish philosophy which says, who is the truly wealthy? The person who is satisfied with what he has.
Mm-hmm.
He's satisfied with his lot in life. Yeah.
A lot of people like that actually end up getting more because most of the people I've met in life that are successful like that become more successful because they are happy where they are, and it allows them to be more relaxed in doing things. And it's a very funny thing I've noticed in life. So he's very somebody said content in the chat. Exactly. So
and he even broadens it out, his message, to those who have no faith.
And the same is true for you. And as I move through this healing portal toward recovery, I wanted to share that with you because I think that revelation that came to me was due in no small part to all the prayers and the love that have been directed toward me. So I offer that to you, however it sits in your consciousness, however it resonates, run with it. And if the word God trips you up, I certainly don't know. I can't claim to know what God is or explain God. My efforts to connect to God are an ongoing process that is a constant unfolding mystery to me. But if it's a trigger, it feels too religious, you can take the word God out and your mantra can simply be, I am worthy of love. Because you are.
this guy is literally dying giving
Thank you
this
for the love and
message.
prayers, everyone. Have a blessed day.
That's a beautiful message.
Yeah. The fact that he knows his time is very short, and he has such a smile. Like you see cheer in his face. You know what I mean? You see happiness.
You see a sort of almost acceptance that like things are okay. That things are like, even though like, like it's almost like he feels like he's going to meet, you can almost sense in there that the face expression and tone that you see here is someone who sounds as if there's a recognition he's going to meet his maker, and that's okay. And that's all right. And he's just trying to encourage others to find their own happiness. And I'll tell you this much, I'm a very big believer that the greatest acts we can do is to inspire others and to fill them with hope. And his message there was just beautiful.
I 100% agree. Like I've talked about doing independent comics. That's the reason why I got into it. Was like, I met a lot of people that could use my voice and the way I discuss things and promote things and all that, and that's what drew me into it. So yeah, like inspiring people is fantastic.
Yeah. So I agree. That was a man of God,
Mhm.
and I'm sure God welcomed him into his embrace.
Oh, 100%.
He left California and moved to Texas at the beginning of Biden's administration. Oh, so there you go. There you go. I guess he that explains a lot.
Yeah. Smart man. See, you said he was a smart guy, Joe. You made a very good decision there.
Yeah, I guess that it does explain a lot. So, speaking of, we'll go from the those who make smart decisions to those who don't.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
Back to making my skin crawl about the way our country is. Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much, Joe. Every Wednesday I come in here. I'm so happy. I normally have really good streams over the weekend. We had huge streams this weekend. It was fantastic. And I'm just happy and joyous. And then you just dash everything I have against the rocks.
You're welcome. So this is outside Target in Richfield.
Yeah, they don't like
Minnesota.
the ice prices. You do it. Way to go, people. I'm with you. I'll be there tomorrow.
I think they're going to try and scare ice off by singing off key.
That one on the right's already scaring me off.
That was in Richfield, Minnesota. Then we got this one over here. This.
Why did that one guy look like Gavin McInnes though? Right beside the water buffalo to the far right.
He does look a little
like Gavin McInnes.
This one here?
I'm waiting
This
for
one
him.
here?
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to ask me my favorite cereal brands and punch me in the arm.
Here's another one for you. This is when the police are showing up. Actually, we'll save the police ones for later. I have all my police ones over here. Here's a woman explaining in very articulately just how, in very American type of way.
She looks very intelligent. This is going to be a James Vanderbeek level of intelligence speech, I'm assuming, right?
They are here intimidating all of us.
They are here terrorizing us today.
I think that's a Kentucky accent.
that's Eastern Tennessee right there. I don't.
Eastern,
and like, yeah, that's definitely an Eastern.
I was trying to
Tennessee
figure out
accent.
where she was from. Where this target was based on her accent. So
Yeah.
I came up with Kentucky, but you're saying it's more Eastern Tennessee.
Yeah, it's more of an
That's close.
Appalachian
That's close.
accent.
Not arresting only what they call criminals,
But you
they
dare
are
say Alabama in the
citizens
chat.
and residents who have their status. So
Status.
that's not right. And
Status.
What do you? So yeah, apparently ICE is arresting all these residents and citizens. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. I saw a statistic which actually shows that, like, I think I shared it here with my audience, that ICE, they say, ICE is was wrongfully detaining like 0.05% of their detainees were Americans, and then released shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
So they detained an American, and then 0.05%. And then the guy who's like looking at it's like, oh no, wait, I'm sorry. He's like, that was Obama. Yeah, Trump is actually 0.003%, like a tenth as much as like.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, Joe. If we scooped some Americans up by accident, inverted commas, right? Like if by accident, I wouldn't be upset. I've got a list, by the way. So look, if you need a list of people, I can send it on to you. Just saying, take a look at them. If you've got to send them somewhere else, then oopsie daisy.
Sick ice on them.
You got to break a few eggs, right?
She thinks that this is a very common thing, that this is happening all over the place.
What would you like to see from elected Democratic officials, your governor and mayor? What would you like to see more from them?
I want to see them to be more bold and stand up for.
She wants them more bold.
Yeah, I want to see more ICE agents bald. I think. Now listen to me. Okay? It's
Democrat leaders. She wants the Democrat leaders to be more bold.
Most of them are already bald. I've seen like Nancy's wig. I mean, are we serious?
Yeah.
The community and fight as we are here fighting for the community too. They are.
So that's her. Did you have something more to say on her before we move on?
There's just no. I can't. The status of the ICE raid.
Yeah, seriously. I think this is self-interest that she's talking about there. This is not a matter. This is where ICE should be.
100%.
This one I was going to say for later on.
So, I mean, Target is allowing ICE to come in and like take employees away, or where are they protesting for Target? Like Target's hated by the left and the right now, right? So
right, and the right can't stand Target, right? Why are they going after Target?
Yeah, I exclusively shop at Sam's and Walmart now.
We're going to look at a clip that might explain why Target is their thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why not Walmart's? Why not I don't know.
Kmart's are shut down, right? There's no Kmart.
I guess Kmart's are shut down. But
the only thing I know is Target and Walmart, to be honest.
Are they the only national chains right now?
Of like those, those sort of home goods stores, I would say. I mean, you still got like, Publix.
Home Depot.
I guess you could do Home Depot, sure.
Yeah. I guess you could.
They would never make it into the store, though.
Kimmy says, "I needed that. I'm worthy of God's love, so I'm worthy to love myself. I sit here alone. Pet scan Friday. Prayers for you.
Yeah.
Prayers for you, Kimmy. Kimmy's awesome. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry. It's gonna be fine. God's gonna watch over you. So yeah, don't stress that. You go through it, and it'll be okay. Dominion, no. Oh gosh, this guy. Every night he wants me to read about this Anton's firm and juicy meat is waiting to be put into your mouth right now. Order yours from King of Biltong at Biltong USA. Backdoor delivery is not available. There you go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. Usually it's got something about like, like I'm supposed to read it as like, I really love. I'm just like, no, that's not happening, brother. Anyway, this one is Target in New York, in Chelsea, New York. Look at this woman, this woman here. She's going to be a central figure. You can tell there's a lot of enthusiasm. So now they're going inside. These folks are going inside. You can tell, like, they're basically moseying on through at their customary 3 miles an hour. These 80-year-olds are storming ICE. Storming Target.
Downstairs. That's where the manager is. We're going to take the elevators down.
Wait, all of y'all took the elevator? What? We care so much. We're just gonna, we're gonna ride the elevator. It's whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna just ride the elevator on down. We got business here. We got business to attend to.
Ice out now! Target! Ice out of Target! Ice out of Target!
They're so excited. Yeah, it's right. The ice prices are too high. I'm with you, ma'am.
Target!
It should be 99 cents, lady. We're buying frozen water here.
Target!
Wait, there's somebody in the wheelchair. Joe, stop it. Joe.
What? Like,
how is the lady in the wheelchair protesting?
She's marching.
She doesn't have a leg to stand on.
I see what you did there.
That's right.
Ice out at Target. They're so excited.
Ed is claiming at this started because they're going after Target just because an ICE dude bought something there when the antis complained that Target wouldn't support anti-ICE and refused to let ICE shop there. Protests. So apparently somebody from ICE bought something in Target, and they're like, now we gotta go after every Target in the country. Okay.
All right, I guess that's logical.
Do you know, does anybody know where the manager is right now? We have a letter for her. He's coming right now.
Here comes the manager.
You're asking for a manager? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I spoke earlier to Angel. He said he was the manager.
He is a manager, but I am the manager on duty right now.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay.
I've got several managers, but how can I help you?
Okay. Well, we have a letter that we want to deliver to you.
Okay.
And to the other managers, that you can read it. It's signed by Chelsea Neighbors United.
Okay.
And what we
Chelsea, what?
What we were asking.
Their demands are Geritol for everybody.
Yeah, seriously.
And
Ma'am, we're demanding Geritol and diapers for everyone. All right.
free diapers for everyone.
And Bob back there needs some Fix-It-In. It's his teeth are real loose. He forgot to glue them in this morning. He's been yelling all morning.
These are Chelsea Neighbors United. Chelsea is an area on the in Lower Manhattan.
Looking for is for you to fax that letter to the Target management in Minneapolis.
Okay.
And let them know that you don't want this in your store. Have you guys talked about that here? Do you?
Unfortunately, I can't speak on behalf of Target to you, but I'm happy to take this and take partners up.
And where is Angel? Because I talked to him earlier. He said he was the evening manager.
He does. He is. Yes. He's
So where is
he's
he?
on break.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Team generic loafers today.
What was that?
Somebody said 13% off generic loafers today only.
It's very important stuff. Anyway, you can't really hear them because they suck at recording. So we're gonna
because
move
they're
on.
also old people and they're whispering. That's as loud as they can talk, Joe.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. Protesters gathered at Target, Minnesota to oppose the company's cooperation with federal immigration officials part of a broader anti-ICE demonstration. So Minnesota is putting New York to shame here.
Wow.
I got a picture.
Yeah. Yeah, there we
Now,
go.
this woman here, I got a clip of her stating their demands. So this way
Oh.
we can get a better feel for what the hell
I-
they
yeah, I-
actually are asking for, because no one knows what the hell they want.
I really
right?
need to know because the first lady, her Appalachian accent was just so thick. Yeah, me even being a Southern man, I couldn't understand it. So I would
Yes,
really. Can we
that-
get their demands already, Joe?
Yeah, let's see if I can find it here. Is this the clip?
Yeah.
Give me a moment. It's one of these tabs here. I've got this woman making her demands. Not this one. Here it is. Okay. Let's hear from that woman. She's got their demands down pat. She's got their demands down solid.
So we want them to, 1, assert their Fourth Amendment rights, keep ICE off their property.
Assert their Fourth Amendment rights and keep ICE out of their property. That's number 1.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Even as shoppers.
Got you.
Which that doesn't work, but
Not at all. How are they
No.
supposed to know?
Right.
Their corporate influence
So let's get to number 2.
to use their corporate influence and their voice to stand up and demand ICE out of Minnesota and ICE out of everywhere.
Yeah, that's what they should be doing. They should basically go and side with these idiots against 68% of the country that wants ICE to keep going, and start using their voice to saying ICE should leave the country. All right.
Tell Congress to stop funding ICE and get rid of this immoral, corrupt, illegal investigate any agents who murder or kill our residents. Need actual legitimate investigations and then hold those people accountable.
Yes.
This is what ICE should be doing. Hold these people accountable.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's very reasonable demand.
Additionally, we support the boycott that has been going for over a year now. Because
Wait, what? This has been going on a year now? Hold
Apparently.
on. Wait,
Apparently.
how come I never heard about this?
Apparently, there's been a boycott. You missed the boycott. I guess you're not outside ICE often enough to appreciate that there's a boycott of Target.
Got you.
That the left has.
Yeah.
Between the left and the right, both boycotting Target, you wonder how there's anyone in there anymore.
Yeah, how are they not just folding and shutting store down, store after store after store at this point?
Yeah.
Target immediately rolled over and rolled out the red carpet for Trump's authoritarian takeover. Like every brown communities that they made back
Boo!
after George Floyd's murder. We've been supporting this since last January, and then seen the Target company just immediately roll over to Trump and abandon all of their so-called values for over a year now. So it's time that we do something more, right?
I should run that woman over with their carts.
Which side is Target on? Are you on the side of the community you say you support? Are you on the side of the people and democracy? Or are you on the side of Trump, MAGA, cruel and inhumane ICE terror and practices?
You're not stopping anybody from going in the store. You're all just kindly stepping aside. What are you doing?
You would think that's the point of the protest, right?
Yeah, to blockade people
They're
from coming in.
Apparently they're there to serve as a human doorstop to hold the door open for folks who want to come in.
You know what we're going to do? We're really going to raise the power bill on this Target. That's going to show them, because all the heat is flowing outside right now. This heating bill is going to be crazy in like 6 weeks, okay?
Erosion of our democracy. It's time they tell us for sure.
So very, very clear and articulate demands that are set forward there. Very, very clear and articulate demands. But we should, we'll get more on why it is that they're coming after Target specifically. Daniel says, if Sin is Satoru Goju, does that mean Joe is Hiromi Higuruma? I don't know who these people are.
Higuruma is a lawyer from the show that this character is from. So yeah, technically, yeah, that would make sense. Exactly.
What is Joe's domain expansion? What does that even mean?
Oh, it's a power, it's a skill that this guy has. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one.
When I was younger, I thought that the coolest skill in the world to have would be invisibility. Like if you the coolest superpower would be invisibility.
Domain expansion, Jewish moon lasers. That's what it would be. That would work. That's it. He could just summon the Jewish moon lasers, space lasers,
activate. Space lasers activate.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. That would be your skill. Just think about it, right? If you're in a case, like you were in the court, and the case was, the trial wasn't going the way you wanted it, you could just, there you go, you won.
Right.
Just saying.
And then I think about it, and I was like, that power that woman, that girl had in that show, The Umbrella Academy, where she could just compel people to change their minds, but with her voice.
Compelling people to change their minds or mind reading would be probably the best. You could get so far in life without that. Yeah, with that skill.
Yeah.
So yeah. You
can pretty much get whatever you want.
Anything you wanted.
Yeah.
Without ever even breaking the law or anything like that, right? Just
get everyone to do it. You just walk into Congress.
Yeah.
And you're just like, pass the Save America Act.
Exactly. And just
like, unanimous.
Got it. Nailed it. We get exactly what we wanted then.
Yeah. That's pretty much, that'd be the way to do it. Yeah. So I think that's probably the best power.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. How much are they paying Tim Conway's old man character? That's funny. Target allows ICE to use their restrooms. Apparently, that's a massive crime.
Is that? Oh, come on, man.
U.S. Constitution gave immigration authority to Congress. Congress enacted immigration law. Illegals break that law. ICE enforces that law. Federal law supremes in every state. Very simple. ICE isn't leaving. This is all true. This is all true. They can't stop ICE from being there. And there are a lot of actions that are going on to try and force ICE to leave. Minnesota started a whole thing saying you can't have the whole ICE surge that you have here. Those are so thoroughly without any sort of legal merit. It's embarrassing that they were even filed. Although I'm in the middle right now. I've spent, you know what my project was today?
What was your project?
I've been trying to get ChatGPT to break down how many times since Trump came back has there been an application for a TRO to stop whatever policy was going into effect. Because I'm like looking for like a number.
Uh-huh.
I want to see how many times the application came, how many times it was granted, and how many of those were overturned. Because I'm really trying to see just how woke these judges are, as far as that they just,
what have you been able to find so far, though?
ChatGPT is very slow on this. Like they're really, really slow. I mean, they've been like, they told me this could take several days.
What?
And I was just like, and then I went to like the advanced mode of ChatGPT, and I just copied what I had over in my conversation there. And I was like, so I said, okay, I'll give you a couple days. Just give me updates every half hour. And then I went to the advanced mode, and they said, we don't know why ChatGPT told you that. They said, sure, we could do that. We'll get started. I said, give me like 100 at a time, and then, let me know where we're at. Well, then when I put in advanced ChatGPT, they said, yeah, we don't know why they told you that, because there's nothing built into our capability here to give you updates on a time basis of every 30 minutes. And sure enough, like 40 minutes later, they're hanging me an update. And I was like, so how's it going? I went back to like the other tab where I had the first one running. I was like, how's it going? They're like, oh yeah, so far we got like 24. And I'm just like, because they're checking through Pacer, and they said they're checking through Pacer, which the other ChatGPT is like, we don't have capacity to look through Pacer. So that costs money. So no, we can't give you that. Anyway, so I asked the second tab here to come up with a list. And I was like, is that everything? Are you sure there's nothing more? Because they gave me like 120 something. And I was like, do you have Kilmar Abrego Garcia in there? Like, oh yeah, we could add that one in. I was like, do you have Mahmoud Khalil? Oh, we could add that one. Do you have the one that Judge Boasberg was turning around the planes there? And they're like, wait, there was 4 of them by then. Give me all 4. I want all of them. Give me all of them. Anyhow, so far right now, they're up to 150.
Wow.
Yes, 150. That's not 150 TROs. It's just like different orders. Like if Boasberg gives one order, then follows up with another order, and all these orders are overturned.
Okay. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's not 150 different applications, but like, so like the Judge Boasberg case has like 4 built into it, but it's a total of like 150 so far. And yeah, and because I think it's a very interesting, I want to get like a whole list. Here are all the cases that, the TRO was granted and then overturned, denied, rejected, reversed. Just so we can get a feel as to how screwed up our federal court system is at the district court level currently, because it's
a disaster, Joe. You don't need ChatGPT to tell you that.
It's
a disaster.
The numbers are helpful.
I get you. Yeah.
Anyhow, so we saw how they're all marching there. They're all excited to be like, protesting in front of targets. Before we get to like the whole reasons behind this is the upshot of it. Nope. Then they get arrested, which is nice to see that Minnesota police could actually arrest someone.
Well, I feel like Minnesota's playing with fire by doing that, though. They've already had such a bad time up there with anything involving ICE, anything involving protesters. Like, Jesus, man.
Yeah. Ed is pointing out that Grok will give me wrong information much, much faster, and that's probably true. I hadn't thought of that.
Thanks, Grok. That was quick, but wrong.
Yeah. Uzellen says, hi from Korea, Joe. Sin, you can't deport Joe. He isn't a tunnel Jew from New York. He's a normal above ground one. There
Are
you
we
go.
sure about that? I've been watching him over the past several months. I'm starting to question if he's a tunnel Jew or not.
Dominion says, it's a buck. Suddenly you're against taking money? I'm going to warn your rabbi. Hands One Pack says ChatGPT could use court listener, and there is a list of all Trump cases. You could feed it. We'll post link in locals. Yeah, they started looking. I appreciate if you could do that. Thank you. Maybe that'll go like a little faster. But they said you know how like you sort of as they're like updating, so they'll just sort of like talk about what they're doing, and I saw them make routine references to court listener.
Yeah,
but it seems as if they were just very frustrating. They kept making me hit next every time I come back to my computer. They're like, well, you know, we just gave you a breakdown of different things related to immigration. Do you want us also to look at things related to tariffs? If so, hit next. And I'm like, yes.
Of course. I have to hit a button. What do I have you for, AI? What are you doing?
Over and over again. But then it was like, okay, so we just gave you 6 of them related to tariffs. Do you want us to also cover people who were fired? Yes.
So what you're saying is you need an AI to hit next on the other AI.
Yes.
So that way you could just come back and have everything.
I even said that. I said, just assume I'm saying next and then just keep going. They said we can't do that. So here are these folks being arrested.
Protect your citizens. Embarrassing. Look at these silent eyes.
And to their credit, they gave themselves up peacefully.
Military weaponization against the government, against the U.S. countrymen. ICE out.
I don't know if playing like music from like the hinterlands from like the Third Reich is like really sending the message that they think it's sending, but apparently that was the theme they were going for. Oh, they're saying abolish ICE. Off-key singing is very important.
I think so. It really shows how important all this is.
We will abolish ICE. This is for our neighbors who are locked inside. Together, we will abolish ICE. This is for our neighbors who are locked inside. Together, we will abolish ICE.
This is for our neighbors who are pocket size. Together, together we will abolish ICE. That's apparently what they're singing.
Fuck you, Jerry. Fuck you, Jerry.
Who's Jerry?
I don't know.
F you, Jerry. Wait.
Jerry's like
Jerry do?
I don't know. Jerry's the guy who like took his girlfriend or something.
I hope your wife does divorce you. I hope your wife divorces your ugly ass.
Sorry, I hope your wife divorces you.
You
want me to get them to move along again? You want me to see if I can get them to move along again?
Well, there you go. Anyway, so here's more arrests happening.
Nice.
I guess I think there's actually a different angle of the same thing, so we're not going to bother with that. I just saw different things here. But let's go into like the reasons why. This is Dr. Karlin Borosenko. I share this. I'm sharing this at some risk just because.
Well, what's the risk? It's not
The host here, Dr. K, has been on my
Uh-huh.
show, and she's kind of a weird psychopath.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not psychopath. That's the wrong term.
Sociopath?
Sociopath is the more appropriate term.
Gotcha. There's the old college degree working.
Yeah, she's a sociopath. She's a sociopath who's very upset that she doesn't get more press coverage.
I am Veronica Mendez-Moore. I am coordinating corporate.
But to her credit, she does a great job of finding these different leftist chats and just sitting there watching them with her audience.
Oh, all right.
In a way of trying to call attention to the wackiness that they're doing, not because she supports them, but it's actually, she's a former leftist who became independent and then went MAGA, then got mad at MAGA, and because she wasn't getting, I guess, enough recognition. So, saying how MAGA is stupid, and she's constantly like waffling. I had her on my show one time, and then she ended up doing a whole show basically talking about how retarded I am or something. It was a very nice conversation we had for a while, and then it got heated.
Like it always does.
It got like it does between you and me, right?
Yeah. It's always
exactly
you and
like
me
that.
yelling at each other, going back and forth. It's nonsense. We never agree on anything.
Yeah.
Specifically focus on Target with the ICE Out Now Minnesota coalition. And some of my colleagues have already said why corporate campaigns matter. And I'll just add another piece to
So it's not really explaining Target, but why corporate campaigns matter.
this, which is that, here in Minnesota, everything that's happened and, our governor, has said bad things, has said good things. But at the end of the day, Trump does not care what the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, Democrat, has to say about anything. He doesn't care about what our mayor, Jacob Fry, for the good and the bad that he said. He doesn't.
Why would he?
Because who's really propping him up, who's really holding him up and on his team are the corporations. And so there's the different kinds.
No, that's not why. That's not why, doofy. It's because he's the president and that's just a governor. That's why. And there's something called a supremacy clause. So that's another reason why.
Of targets like Sakib talked about. And I think one piece of that's really critical is that any of these corporations that we can move to defect is going to help make our alignment, the movement stronger, and is going to make Trump weaker. And we know that.
But the reason that they're not going to defect is because the reason they defected there in the past was because there was massive financial incentive for them to do that, and those are no longer there.
Yeah.
So that's why these commies don't understand how capitalism works. It's not like there's anybody who's not going to the store because you're there. I mean, I guess your handful of idiot followers are not going to go there, but
there's not enough y'all to make a difference. If they're right, when they boycotted over the trans kid bathing suits back in 2020, 2021, something like that.
I think it was more recent. I think it's 22.
Was it 22? If they didn't make a dent back then, you guys definitely aren't going to make a dent. I know they their stock sort of started to fall and slip, and it made a little bit of a change, but nothing like you guys don't have enough power to do that.
Yeah. I think NY Reno is talking about Dr. Carlin Poroshenko here.
In Minnesota, Target has significant economic power and influence, both their space economically, but also just the relationships they hold, the way that they move the economy here, the way that they move society here, the role that they've played in our communities in the past. They're so embedded, and in order for us to be able to, I think, move other of the players and have a domino effect in Minnesota, I believe Target is the place for us to start. And so we have been focusing in on Target over the last weeks, months, maybe a month. We have really been focused on doing not only disruptions in the store, not only trying to slow down business. We are acting in solidarity with folks who are leading the DEI boycott campaign locally, Black grassroots leaders who have held that.
Okay, I'm already bored. Let's see if this one was any better.
So first up, I have the honor of bringing to you President Howard of the Minneapolis Federation of Educators. President Howard, we'll toss it to you.
I am in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I am about 263 steps from George Floyd Square, which is one of the longest running occupied spaces, resistance spaces in American history. We've been here since May 25, 2020, fighting for stolen lives of Black and Indigenous.
I'll come to you when I
of color,
finish this
and
topic.
I gotta say that actually has prepared us for what has become very obvious to people around the country and probably around the world.
Say something.
Say anything.
Which is the
like say anything at all. What are you doing?
They always have like this whole long introduction to what they're getting to, which I guess is pretty much what my show is also, to be fair. But this is boring.
Of the city of Minneapolis right now. We're suffering. We are. But
I'll be right back in 2 seconds.
Surprising them. I think we are confounding them with our constancy. The fact that every single day the members of Minneapolis Federation of Educators get up and they put on their whistles and they go outside, and along with community members, they are holding it down, armed with, a phone and with a camera on it and a whistle. We are keeping ICE away from our kiddos who these deputized goons are trying to intimidate.
Yeah, that's the goal. The goal is to intimidate children. The only ones intimidating children are these idiots who are pretending that children are uniquely at risk here.
Obviously, this is unsustainable. It's untenable.
They're being
And
targeted
so we
by
are
ICE.
going on the offensive.
They still haven't said anything, have they?
Minneapolis, in the state of Minnesota, where we pride ourselves on our Fortune 500 companies, and
land the plane, lady.
The power concedes nothing without a demand. And so now we're on the attack. We're on the offensive. If we got to go and take it to corporations that house ICE agents, if we got to go to corporations that look the other way while federal agents come and harass their workers or their clients or their customers.
They are narcissists. They're like, we lost the election, but we're
still so self-important.
But we're so important that we're going to just try and just break everything down. It's
Somebody
narcissism.
said the plane never took off.
Then we're taking it to them. And so you will see escalating actions, and not just of those corporations, but even the corporations that sustain those corporations.
Does the host ever say anything?
Target our home.
She does talk sometimes. Yeah, she does.
Okay. Hey, ma'am, this is riveting radio right now. You are just sitting there letting the lady just vomit words with no direction, asking zero questions, doing nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, like I said, there is something to like helping us get a window into what these leftists are thinking. So I'm going to respectfully disagree with you that there's like no benefit to this. But
I'm not
I
saying
agree.
there's not any benefit, but I'm saying this is not riveting or entertaining by any means,
All right, that's Sin's way of saying, Joe, land the plane on this thing.
No. Like it's not you. We can make a segment out of this. This lady is trying. Okay, all right. She is trying to have the left on to speak their side, right? There is nothing engaging about this.
I think it's to expose themselves. That's the point. The point is to have them expose themselves. So, I think that's where she's going with this whole thing here.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's how she presents it.
Town store. But what about SPS Commerce, who their business to business data transfer actually undergirds everything that Target is doing between them and their vendors? What about them? Right?
Huh?
You're talking about ICE agents. What about Delta? because they putting them on a plane and bring them there. Huh?
Huh?
No quarter. They picked the wrong state. You know, they hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, that's why.
Because they ain't us.
That's
Getting
why.
a whole bunch
Man,
of
you sound like you smoke 2 packs a day.
all of
It's like this. Like how many?
Whatever happened to that?
How many-
lady? She didn't make the sandwich fast enough.
How many? It's funny that's what you thought. I was thinking, how many grams of meth does it take to make that expression? But you were, because I watched enough Breaking Bad to say, like, okay, that's totally meth.
I was thinking the other direction.
But you were thinking that she didn't make the sandwich fast enough.
Yes.
It's gotta be.
The dishwasher has been fixed, is what I would say. That's all, folks. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Like, she's obviously got a lot here to add. So.
of it. So yeah, if you're with our fearless leader, President Howard, I need you to tell her in the chat. Somebody say amen. She just dropped a word and gave us some marching orders.
Okay, seriously, only her left eye blinks. The right eye doesn't blink. Is it vax?
It very well could be. It could be some form of palsy from the vax. Yeah.
Thank you for being here tonight. On top of everything else, we're grateful for your leadership and your courage.
You saw that? Did you see that?
Run it back like 5-10 seconds. Let's see it again.
There's only one eye blinking.
Everything else, we're grateful for your leadership and your courage.
Oh yeah.
The one thing that I do want everybody to know, I don't know where you from, the thing that is saving Minneapolis and St. Paul, the Twin Cities they call us, is this. Before I showed up here, we had already forged relationship with each other. And it could have been because of what happened with Philando Castile, if y'all remember, or with George Floyd, if y'all remember. We know our neighbors.
Who?
Like, we know our neighbors. We the Twin Cities, but frankly, we just like, we 3 raccoons in a trench coat thinking we're a metropolitan area. We know each other. Outside, we outside, right? And so because we know our neighbors, when they come for one of us, they come for all of us, right? Isn't that a union thing? But now
all right. Anyhow, so there you go. I think that's enough of that. I think that's enough of that. My chat is basically, I think the super chats are coming in, and I think that's my chat's way of telling me stop watching this idiocy. So that's how I'm interpreting it. Richard Park says off subject, but today Ro Khanna revealed 6 redacted names in the Jeffrey emails. Only one was an American, and he was the Victoria's Secrets owner. That was Les Wexner. The torture video was sent by a Mid-Eastern oil sheik.
Yeah, it's a big deal over there.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. And the mouse just pissing Target off. January 11th, Bovino had to poop and took a crew to Target. I think Matthew here is being serious as to why Target is the target. Ford Fisher has a video of the disruption. Star Tribune, Target employees detained by federal officers were U.S. citizens, January 12th. And Brian Oldenkamp came in here with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 $10 super chats. Wow. Pushing us towards our goal. Pushing us toward our goal. In ways that just
thank you so much, Brian.
amazing.
Joe's not enthusiastic about that, but I am. Even though Joe doesn't pay me a dime, he just uses me as free labor and brings me on here to boost the numbers every Wednesday. I'm excited and happy, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you. But I was also going to say thank you to Brian for this, which is 10 Good Lawgic memberships.
I'm now ordering more tracksuits. Every
10
week this
people
happens.
brought into the following courtesy of Brian Oldenkamp. God bless you, Brian.
This whole
And
whole
those
thing.
of you who are new to the following courtesy of Brian Oldenkamp, please bear in mind that the following is not at all a cult type of cult.
This
It's just
cult
gathering
thing is
like-minded
getting out of hand. Like
individuals who are interested in greater personal growth through community
Sure.
unity, learning, and thinking. And as such, when I call your name, it's
Mm-hmm.
appropriate for you to express your gratitude to Brian for giving you the gift that just keeps on giving, which is membership in the following. Hopefully this leads to greater personal growth for you. Namaste. So part of that, in keeping with that, if when you hear your name called, assuming you hear your name called, it'd be appropriate for you to express your gratitude to Brian for giving you this life-altering gift. And that would include you, Adam Nash, as well as Samantha Katz, right-wing extremist, Carolyn, Kimby's Dirty Kitchen, Tim DeHoog.
Sound it out, buddy. You got it? You okay?
Will Call Magic, Joshy G, and Rachel's 8168, as well as Dawn C 5002. Welcome to the following. Please bear in mind, as I said, not at all a cult.
Such a
type
so
of cult.
cold. It's just,
And I am
just
not at all the leader
Stop
of the
acting like-
following. I'm just
But
the
you,
host.
but you
Brian, you're
clearly,
What?
you're clearly the leader, and it's obviously a cult. Like you've been doing this for years, Joe. I think it's time for you to come to terms with everybody. Just email me your tracksuit sizes and your shoe sizes.
There's no
don't worry about
no
it. I've got
mandatory
it.
tracksuits.
I'll take care of everything as usual for
We
this.
also want
this-
to thank Nana Nose for coming in here with the $10 gift. Thank you, Nana Nose. You're too kind. And Malcolm Palm comes in to say, I'm glad you're streaming Carlin's work. She's awesome. So there you go. So some people are fans. She's on the Fat Hour show. I think that's a reference. To the big hair is who Wesley was talking about. The Bell's palsy woman.
Yeah.
Richard Parker says, Sin, he pays you exactly what you're worth, in my honest opinion.
Thanks, Richard.
And Brian Oldenkamp saying, you can apply this to Sin's weekly paycheck.
Good job, guys. We nailed it.
Thank you, Brian. You're awesome. You are really amazing, brother. Thank you. All right. So I think that's enough of that.
Yeah, can we stop listening to that broken dishwasher?
Yeah, I think
Can we move off of that?
I think that's enough of that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It does give us a peek into the window of the leftists and what they like, how self-important and how self-righteous they think they are, that they just bloviate on and on and on. And they think that they can do all of this with zero engagement or entertainment value. It's insane to me.
Uzelian says, Joe, I get the feeling at times this is how Trump does his ICE stuff.
But something. So here is our chance to kick some ass for Mother Earth.
I'm listening.
Well, I've narrowed your choices down to 5 unthinkable options. Each will cause untold misery.
I pick number 3.
You don't even want to read them first?
I was elected to lead, not to read. Number 3.
There you go. All right. I think he gives a little more thought than that, but maybe that's Korea seeping in on him. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what's happening there. He always comes with links, so I try and give him his due.
Good job. That was a good one. I liked it. I thought it was funny.
RPP says, so Joe, Google useless tasks, then scroll all the way down, then search section B, and then, or wait, I could have posted a direct link instead, multiple instructions on how to search. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. So once we're talking about this whole woke stuff and fighting against the woke, we can't break away from that just yet. I have one more thing I want to cover with you on this. And this is I don't know who this person is. I don't know what her name is. Do they have a name? I don't know what her name is, but well, she was Miss Florida. You wouldn't tell from the background, but
Yeah.
You were looking to compete for Miss America, but then they took your Florida crown off you because you made statements about sort of transgender.
Yes, that is exactly right. I was asked to sign a contract that was different than the first one that I had agreed to because they had changed it 4 weeks after I rightly won. And so I didn't lose my crown because I broke a rule. I lost the crown because I was unwilling to rewrite the truth.
And were you super upset, obviously, when
you surprised?
For Florida, yeah, 100%.
It's not Florida. It's whoever wins like the state ends up being able to compete in the Miss America contest.
So it's Miss America in general. It's the entire.
It's the Miss America contest, right?
organization. Okay.
She was basically bounced out of Miss America. Although I don't know if she had to give up her crown because she can't compete in the Miss America contest. I don't know if they do that so that this way they have some representative from Florida there.
Mhm.
Because obviously a massive thing about the Miss America contest is you're sort of rooting for your home state girl to like win, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So you don't want to alienate 20 million Floridians. So instead you end up getting like her backup, and they might be part of the rules is that like if you can't compete in Miss America contest, then the next runner-up comes up, because she makes reference to losing her crown, and she's like, it's not that I lost it because I did something wrong. It's that it's taken from me because I'm not willing to sign this stupid new pledge thing that Miss America has.
Huh. So they changed the rules on her midway through, and she's like, well, I have to, vacate the crown because I don't want to agree to these rules. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
you lost your crown, and then Miss She Leads America reached out to you and said, hey, we will honor you?
Yes, it was hard.
Oh, Miss She Leads America is the crown that she's got now.
All right. I've never heard of it.
It was disappointing because Miss America has been honored women for over 100 years, and now they can't even define what a woman is. And heartbroken. It was a lot of soul searching, but God uses all things for good, and here I am.
Well, what were the circumstances that you spoke out about this?
So by circumstances, do you mean like?
So at what point did you say that men cannot be women?
Well, immediately as soon as we were given the contract, first thing, my mom and we started raising concern about it and got on a conference call immediately with one of the directors for the Miss America organization, and weeks and weeks and weeks of pleading with them, sending videos, sending letters, emails, demand letters through Liberty Counsel because they picked up my case, and they just no, and they doubled down and basically just got to the point where
But
they
what
said,
was the letter?
What did you say originally? What precipitated you speaking out?
declining to sign the contract. Yeah, declining to sign the contract.
Okay.
Because I couldn't agree that a little boy could mutilate his body and become a woman.
Why was that in the contract?
I don't know. That's something we got to ask the Miss America.
I would love to read
Have you
this
had any
contract.
What?
I would love to read this contract to see what it actually says.
So would I. You think you can dig that up?
I'll see what I can find. What would it be? Miss America's contract or
It's a private contract. It might not be something you can just so easily access unless she's posted it.
Let's see what I can find.
I'm wondering what that clause is.
Free support?
We've had a little bit. Yes, we have.
From who?
Riley Gaines. We've had Lee Allen Baker, the famous Miss Liz Doyle, and a few others. But the support has been crazy, encouraging, and it's just been amazing.
And last thing, how do you feel about the Miss America pageant and just organization in general now?
That's a tough question. I used to look up to Miss America because they empowered women, but now it's really disappointing to see that they've abandoned such a common sense truth, and that is that a man is a man and that a woman is a woman. And disappointed in the Miss America organization, but I'm really hoping that they get back on track and return to truth, and start honoring God in their pageants like they used to.
The reason this is significant is not just the individual wrong that this does to her, which would make it significant unto itself. But to me, one of the reasons this is significant is because when you make your contestants sign something like this, you are signaling to them that when they are up on stage and being asked questions for the talent, for the interview section, those contestants who make it there, you know how like you'll sometimes see clips of like those, there was that famous clip of that woman who couldn't like find the map,
Yeah.
the whole maps woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for that segment of it, when they ask you questions, that if you want to win, you have to give a woke answer, which means they're trying to get their contestants to basically get up there on stage in front of millions of people and advocate wokeness. That's the message, that if you get this contract, until this woman came out, we don't realize that all of these contestants are basically being told, you must advocate wokeness, otherwise you're not going to win.
Yeah.
So now they all are going to get up there and advocate wokeness and try and basically propagandize the millions of people with their messaging that, oh, hot chicks, embrace wokeness.
I wish this was a bigger story. I'm finding some contracts, but they're like 27 pages long.
Well, that's probably, that could be it.
So it says, so the one that I did find is, it says Miss America delegate agreement, application agreement for delegate and title holder participation in a Miss Teen competition in the Miss America opportunity. And this is for Miss University of Georgia pageant.
Right. And I agree with the sentiment here is that compelled speech, it's a form, and the compelled speech is not freedom. Baba Yogi is saying here. And I think she is suing. I think that's the implications, which said some Liberty Center or something was picking up her case for her.
So in this contract, though, this definitely can't be it because of his personal characteristic, sex. The applicant must be a female. Female means born a female or an individual who has fully completed sex reassignment surgery. That's got to be it, actually. Yeah.
No, because she wouldn't have to sign off that she's averring to that she's agreeing with that. She would just, you know what I'm saying?
Well, she would have to, it says via vaginoplasty from male to female. That would be her saying, yeah, you could do that. That means you're a female.
I doubt that's the change. She's saying there was a change that was implemented. What's surprising to me about this story is that this change is implemented during the Trump administration. I would have thought that something like this would have come up.
Well, this is
a few years ago.
2025 Miss America contract.
No, I'm saying I think it's likely a different clause in there.
Okay.
That's an eligibility for your femininity in order to compete in it, and they're basically
What's funny that she's not saying what the clause actually was. None of these stories that I'm seeing have anything about the clause. You get what I'm saying? So
right.
Because all these clauses that I'm seeing so far is like employment status, education, your sex.
So Sin thankfully has shared the link with me here. I'll see if I can do a quick scan in here. I would have to.
Yeah, let me mute for a minute, see what I can find right quick. Give me like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean I can do a quick look here and
I'll be right back
and see if I can pull this up here. See if I can pull up this this contract. If I could try to find in here. Just trying to think. Will they use the word trans? Transferability, transferee, no, that's not it. Transition. This is for an eligibility thing. that to say that the woman herself, that the person themselves is a woman. I don't think this is it because it looks as if this was created in 2024. So this looks like it's something that's older. Yeah, this is for Georgia. It's also Miss University. This, let's say Miss America. Arbitration, governing law, general provisions, scholarship rules, scholarship grants. Yeah, I don't even know if this is the right thing. It could be a non-disparagement. I don't know. I'm going to try and see if maybe I can find this. I'm going to see if I can find this later on. I think that doing the research on this now is not conducive to the overall show. So we'll see if I can maybe find this later. Anyway, I wanted to share that story with you here. It's time for us to talk about the Save America Act. Yesterday, I was explaining to those of you who may be, it's very easy to get confused about the different acts that have been coming through the House related to voter ID. And today there were actually two votes. One was to, I guess, amend the Save America Act to its current form. That passed 216 to 215. And here's the vote on that coming down.
On this vote, the yeas are 216, the nays are 215. The resolution is adopted. Without objection.
216, one nay from the Republicans. Who's the nay from the Republicans? Who do you think is the nay from the Republicans? Who's the nay from the Republicans? Thomas Massey.
Every time.
Thomas Massey. So he was very bothered that he was basically called out for this. And where is he? So he has his whole explanation that he gives. Where is it? I thought I had it here. Give me a second. Why? I definitely put it aside.
Yeah, of course you did. In your millions of tabs that are completely disorganized and not in order. Jesus.
They are in order.
If you hear anything crazy in the background, my puppy has got a new bone and has decided to start throwing it all over the house. So
that's very kind of him.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy.
All right, here's Thomas Massey. Okay. There's a false rumor that I voted against the Save America Act today. I'll vote for it when it comes to the floor. I voted against a rule that allows it to get a vote. So this is the rule that allows it to get the vote. There's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But the rule also suspends House rules and allows spending bills to come to the floor with no 24-hour notice. So he's saying this is a false rumor, but he's also saying he actually did vote against it. But he technically wasn't the Save America Act. It was a vote to get the Save America Act to the floor that he voted against. And he's saying that the reason he did that is because in those amendments, it provided that the requirement clause 6A for a 2/3 vote to consider a report from the Committee on Rules on the same day is presented as waived, meaning we can waive that. So it could be Thomas Massey being kind of a jerk because that's what he's got to do. It's definitely a look at me moment for him. But in the end, it finally passed when they voted on the actual thing. He did vote with the rest of the Republicans, and here is that hammer coming down. And America passing the Save America Act.
Good.
On this,
finally,
the yeas are 218 and the nays are 213. The bill is passed without objection. A motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
So there you go. They're all excited that they managed to pass the Save America Act. Now, the difference between the Save Act and the Save America Act is the Save Act that was embraced and passed in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
That related towards you have to provide proof of citizenship at the time that you are registering to vote. This one for a federal election.
Yeah.
This one has that, plus you have to show proof of citizenship when you're voting.
Got you.
So it's not just when you're registering, but when you're voting, we got to know that you're an American.
Mm-hmm.
So this is definitely a serious improvement on the Save Act, is the Save America Act. So that was a good day for the House in that regard. But there were other moments for the House today. Here's Mike Lee weighing in on it, being very excited about this.
Mathematical certainty, but what we do know. All right, look, a lot of people are way overcomplicating the talking filibuster thing, and they're trying.
Because everyone's like, how are we going to get to 60 votes in the Senate?
Yeah.
Where are you going to find these 60 senators who are going to go on board? Well, one of the strategies, and I was trying to explain this to my audience yesterday. Do you understand why you need 60 senators? It's really, you need a simple majority on the actual vote. But to get to the vote, you need 60 senators. So what ends up happening is the reason everyone calls it a filibuster is because each side, either side can say, hey, I want to debate whether or not we should pass this bill. So a bill is presented now. Okay, they say, okay, this bill 8471 is up now, the Save America Act. I just made up the number. It's almost definitely not that number.
Yeah.
But the Save America Act is now being presented for a vote to Congress. Let's open the debate.
Got you.
The floor for debate. The floor for debate can keep going, in theory, forever.
Forever. All right.
And you can't vote on it until debate is concluded. In order to get that there, to say, hey, we don't want to debate anymore, you need to have 60 senators stand up and say, let's stop debating this. That whole debate forever is called the filibuster. Okay? So in order to end that filibuster and say, let's have a vote, you need to have 60 senators shut them down. Now, it used to be that in order to filibuster, you had to someone literally stand up there and talk.
Yeah.
But a few years back, the Senate said, that's really hard work. We don't want to have to stand up there talking. That's called a standing filibuster because someone literally has to stand there talking. Now, they literally can read from War and Peace. They can talk about anything. And that's what, they can read any book. They can read the entire, 7 volumes of Harry Potter if it's part of their debate thing. But someone's got to be up there talking. The Senate was like, this is hard work actually having to talk and have someone stand up there day and night. Just talk. So they invented what they called basically what's referred to as the zombie filibuster, where they say, we're here by filibustering. No one's standing there. But
so nobody does anything. They just say, you know what? We're filibustering, guys. And everybody goes, oh.
Yeah.
And now you just have to wait for 60 senators to vote on it.
Yes.
This is nonsense. Oh, I hate everything. I hate every Wednesday. Every Wednesday you do this to me.
What, by enlightening you? So I basically...
No, it's
I depress you?
Yes, it depresses me at how lazy they are. The fact that they're like, you know what? We're filibustering, guys.
Yeah. Well, that's why.
Can you just declare a filibuster? You don't need to
Yes,
vote on it.
essentially.
You say, wait,
yes.
hold it.
They
You
declare
can just
filibuster.
declare it.
It's
And then you got to vote your way out of it.
It's like screaming shotgun first, and it's like you win. Okay, what can I do? I said he
nothing.
said no backsies. There's nothing I can do. I'm stuck here. He said no backsies. Yeah, that's essentially what the Senate is. So the House, starting with Representative Luna and Mike Lee over here from the Senate, they're basically like, we need to have a standing filibuster instead of a zombie filibuster. If you want to filibuster on this one, you're going to have to stand up there. So now, to me, they should just be doing away with the filibuster. Just say, "F your filibuster. We're gonna close the vote with 50 people." The Senate has the right to change their rules. So as long as we get a simple majority to close the vote, we're closing it. They could do that. To close the debate, they could do that. But Senator Thune is too much of a lily-livered wimp to actually do that. So instead, there's this whole push now to basically force them to at least stand up there if they're going to filibuster. And that's what Mike Lee is talking about right here.
All right, look, a lot of people are way overcomplicating the talking filibuster thing. And they're trying to ascertain with mathematical certainty exactly how long it would take for us to break through a filibuster using the enforcement of the talking filibuster. This is like 3 parts art to 1 part science. We can't ascertain this with mathematical certainty, but what we do know is that senators get tired. They get fatigued after having to speak, or even having to remain in session very long. It shouldn't be the case, but it is. And we break through this, I believe we could win. Doesn't mean victory is a certainty, but again, we know that we will not pass the Save America Act unless we try this. This is our big shot. We can't blow it. I want to wish the House of Representatives a big congratulations on passing it tonight. This is a great accomplishment. They sent it over to the Senate. Spoke to the president just a little while ago and told him how anxious we are to get to work on it in the Senate. But we've got to maintain this rallying call.
So there you go. That was Mike Lee. Here is Chip Roy leaning in on this, on the passing of the Save America Act.
You might get confused. 2 years ago, I worked with Cleta Mitchell, a great election lawyer, a lawyer to President Trump, expert on these topics, and Stephen Miller to draft the SAVE Act. We focused narrowly on citizenship, and that's the data, that's purging the rolls, showing ID when you register to vote, all for federal elections for purposes of guarantee that only American citizens vote in American elections. All right, so that was point 1. We passed that out of the House. Chuck Schumer blocked it in the Senate, effectively, right? We had a vote and he killed it. Fast forward, we still have the SAVE Act. We've passed that again in the House this Congress. That's good. But we have been wanting to move a federal voter ID piece, right? So President Trump wanted that. I wanted that. Mike Lee, my Senate, co-author of the SAVE Act. So we added federal voter ID, and we added that component into a bill that we're now calling the Save America Act. We have that in the House. We have that in the Senate. So we think we ought to move that House bill and send that over to the Senate and then force the question. In the meantime.
So what this ultimately means is if they do pass the Save America Act, this is the ultimate failure of Chuck Schumer, because Chuck Schumer is the one who stopped us from having the SAVE Act. And Republicans would have been good enough with the SAVE Act if instead of the SAVE Act, we end up getting the far superior Save America Act. I think his career might be done.
Yeah.
I think his career might be done. So he's going to basically put every ounce of effort he has into filibustering. But and if John Thune fails to the head of the Senate doesn't implement that there's a standing filibuster. If he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't have the cojones to do away with the filibuster.
Yeah.
At the very least, to mandate a standing filibuster.
Because this is nonsense.
Which is what America had for centuries.
Yeah.
So
if you believe in something so so strongly, you should stand up there and actually have to do something for it, actually physically fight for it in some shape, form,
This
or
morning,
fashion,
coming to
instead
light.
of just saying, "Now we're filibustering. You guys vote your way out of it now."
yeah. Hold on a second. I got like
47 windows open.
sort of
Hmm.
some old windows. Found it. All right, we're good. No. All right, I took care of that. All right. So I think that it's got a chance to pass. It's got a chance to pass if they have this standing filibuster.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a chance. But we do know that Chuck Schumer is definitely going to be fighting his tail off to stop this from coming through.
Always. Because then he would have to. Chuck Schumer is such a monster tard.
Indeed, sacrifices in order to celebrate new members. We don't have goat sacrifices. No.
We do virgin sacrifices once a year.
No
around
virgin
the
sacrifice.
Summer solstice is what we do.
No, that's got no association with new members. Not at all. I don't even know why you would even think such a thing. That's crazy. That's just crazy.
All right, so I'll reschedule the virgin sacrifice then. I guess you keep changing everything for this.
Yeah, well, that was the good thing that came out of the House today. They're old and unable, or young and too lazy. This is true.
Always.
This is true. There was a bad thing that came out of the House today, and that was I just don't understand these people. I don't understand them. Breaking House votes to terminate Trump's tariffs on Canada.
All right.
Why? Why are you stripping Trump? Why? Just trust the man. Trust the man. It's so aggravating. House of Representatives. Let me small in this a little bit so we can see it all. We can see it all. All right. House of Representatives on Wednesday evening voted 219 to 211 to terminate President Trump's tariffs on Canada. 6 Republicans voted to overturn Trump's tariffs on Canada. Thomas Massie, Don Bacon, Brian Fitzpatrick, Jeff Hurd, Kevin Kiley, and Dan Newhouse joined the Democrats. The only name on this list that surprises me is Kevin Kiley, who is a congressman who in general I like, but this really ticks me off with him. So the vote is likely dead on arrival in the Senate. But basically, they're trying to say that they want to kill the tariffs on Canada. As I explained, and when I talked about this with respect to, what the agenda for tariffs are, what the purpose of tariffs are. Did I ever talk with you? I must have talked with you. I must have talked with you about tariffs, right?
Yes.
Right. So if the agenda, to summarize for those of you who may have missed that exchange between me and myself and Sin, the Congress, when the Constitution references duties, which probably means tariffs, as being in the control of Congress, the legislature, not the executive branch. And that is the basis, but they have the ability to cede that power over to the president if they're so inclined. And there are certain statutes they passed wherein in certain circumstances it automatically would cede over to him. And what they're basically saying is those circumstances do not arise, certainly not with respect to the entire world. It's like, if you have an emergency, all of a sudden Germany declares war on us, that Roosevelt wouldn't have to, go through Congress in order to. It wasn't around back then. I think it came around in the 50s. But that if we're at war with Iraq, so Bush doesn't have to go through Congress because there's an emergency here and he has a basis to clamp them down. So, but that to say there's an emergency with respect to the entire world seemed from a lot of people in Congress, specifically Thomas Massey, but they're the Democrats, and they're basically saying you don't have this authority here. You can't do this. Now, I actually think that the founding fathers got this one wrong when they gave that power uniquely to Congress, because the reason they would give that power to Congress is if you're looking at tariffs, is the agenda behind it is to raise revenues. Raising revenues is the legislature's power, not the president's power.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at it as this is how we're going to raise revenues, well, then it should be a legislative power and beyond Trump's authority. But if you're looking at tariffs as a way to negotiate with the world, that is a function which is uniquely for the president, in which case that should be in his purview. That should be a weapon in his arsenal. So really, depending on how you're looking at the agenda behind tariffs, and it's very likely, or, it's very possible to understand the perspective of the founders was probably like, well, we're never going to be the world power that we can influence everything, and that a president is going to have the capacity to have to sculpt international relations with his tariff policies. So that's why they looked at it primarily as a revenue raising thing, as a revenue stream for the government. So that's probably why they looked at it in that perspective, rather than the way that Trump is using it, where Trump has been using it very, very, very effectively in negotiating with other world powers. He got India to agree to buy billions of dollars, I think $500 billion worth of goods from America.
Yeah.
And to cut their own tariffs with us by basically telling India, you do this and we're going to cut all your tariffs. I mean, think about what that is. This is manufactured goods. This is helping the American industry and that they're buying $500 billion worth of manufactured goods. $500 billion. Our whole GDP was what, $8 billion?
Yeah.
This one country, which granted has 1 billion people, but this one country buying $500 billion from us. I mean, that's astonishing. That's how effective he is in wielding these tariffs. So, yeah. So for Congress to be stupid and self-centered enough and narcissistic to be saying no, he's not going to have that power is so stupid and detrimental to Americans that it's astonishing. It's astonishing. But that's.
Well, I mean, he messes up the status quo if he does that. Like I've always said, it's a uniparty from top to bottom for the most part. And,
yeah.
If he upsets the status quo and gets done what needs to get done, then whoever he chooses as his heir apparent is going to have a a very short runway to the presidency and can continue the job. And that's not what they want. They don't want America to be the vision that us conservatives and the normal blue collar, whatever you call us, everyday Americans want, or what Trump wants. They see that, and so they're just trying to kneecap him any way they can. It's ridiculous.
Now, this is an interesting thing Kathy Chanet's bringing up. Mike Lee just posted Thune is now a co-sponsor on Save America Act. He's vote number 45. The usual runners, Murkowski, Collins, and my jackwad Senator Tillis are no.
No way.
Like, why the hell? Like, so stupid. They're so stupid.
I can't stand them.
Now, the interesting thing is that they all are becoming co-sponsors. That's a very unusual thing. That that's what's been happening with this bill. That whenever someone says yes, they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll make you a co-sponsor now." I don't know. You don't normally see that they all become co-sponsors in a bill. Normally, you'll see a dozen co-sponsors. You don't see 50 co-sponsors on a bill.
Yeah,
it's a very strange thing. But I think that's designed to basically say how strongly they're behind it. So, yeah, look, if Thune is a co-sponsor, that certainly can help, because as much as we might hate him, he does hold influence with the other neocon senators in the House. So, maybe Tillis will come around. We might not need Murkowski and Collins, but I think we'll get to the 51. The question is whether they're going to be able to break through that filibuster. But anyhow, so over here, it'll never pass in the Senate. You're not going to get 60 senators on board to basically say we're stripping. And even if they did get 60 senators, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get, Trump is going to veto it. This bill here, when I talk about this bill here, taking away tariffs on Canada, Trump will veto it. So you'll need 3/4. So this is DOA, which makes it a politically stupid move for Kevin Kiley and all these people here. But very, very aggravating.
It always is. They just want their viral moment. That's what they wanted. They got what they wanted right there. It was that one little news article, and then they can go back and go, look at our viral moment.
Oh, look, I'm willing to stand up for what's right.
Yeah.
I'm not a party person. I'll stand up for what's right.
So stupid.
So, and Pam Bondi, finally, let's close out with this. Pam Bondi. Wait, I can't close out yet.
Yeah, we hit our goal.
Did we?
Yeah. You played the soccer horn and everything.
Did it?
Or the foghorn, or whatever that horn is. You played the horn, Joe.
Yeah, we hit our goal.
Yeah, I know we did. By a lot.
Go!
You already did that. Joe, what are you doing?
I didn't do that.
You were wanting to land the plane, weren't you? You
I
were
was
about
totally,
to land
I was totally about to land
it. Way to go, Joe. You professional. Every Wednesday. Professionalism. That's what we give you. Oh, Good Logic.
Oh my God.
I shouldn't have said anything. I should have just let you. I should have just let you close the show out.
That would have been a disaster.
Richard Parker says no, he didn't sin, but he did. I mean,
no, I didn't.
Did
I know
you not?
I didn't say that. That horn was for the $50 super chat.
Oh, is that what that was for? But that was when we
No.
hit the goal too. Why didn't you?
I'm respecting the generosity really
I
that
do,
Brian Oldenkamp shared.
Yeah.
And basically he was very generous. So I'm respecting his
You're
generosity.
respecting Brian for being generous, but you didn't respect Brian for hitting the goal for you.
Well, I'm saying I'm
I'm
saying even though we technically have 13 on
Yeah.
the list there.
Oh, you're gonna. So we didn't.
I'm
hit the
gonna
goal
respect
then. No.
it.
Land the plane. Let's go.
No.
Them's the rules.
I said that. Look, when there's generous chats that come in there, like
Yeah.
Brian's, plus his.
You went ahead
his-
and added it to the thing. Yeah, I get it.
I counted as a few. Plus, also he also gifted 10 new members to the following.
Yeah, that
So,
counts, right? Whenever somebody does that, don't you count that?
I give it added credit.
Yeah. All right.
There's no set mathematical number that I actually have.
People are always complaining about the ghetto. Why aren't you paying attention to the ghetto? What is your problem? Do you think you're better than them, Joe?
The ghetto had one $10 one. So that also helps,
Wow.
I guess.
That also helps, I guess.
I'm
See, that's
actually-
why I'm
no.
a man of the ghetto. That's me. President Sin, man of the ghetto, man of the people. All right. Every Wednesday night, I'm here with you guys in the ghetto.
Yeah. Uzalian says, why is this a thing now, Joe? This is 100% a publicity thing for her. TMZ. Let me see this. She was crowned in 2024 and stripped 2 months later. Really?
Yeah, a lot
This
of
showed my
stuff-
timeline now. I hate how this happens. That's people make that as if this is something that happened 10 minutes ago.
Mm. It's like when I was looking at the contracts, every contract that I could find
This-
had no clause. You're talking about the
This link here, when we talk about the Miss America thing,
Mhm.
this is from today in TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go back to this story real quick here. Let's go back to oh God. Much as I hate TMZ, these a-holes.
What, you don't think they're good people? They were really good when
Pageant winner Kaylee Bush, Miss America, went down the toilet. So that's what happened.
Jesus, with the headline TMZ. Calm down.
A spokesperson for the Miss America refutes Kaylee's claim, telling TMZ, just to clarify, she did not lose her crown. She retained her crown. She simply did not go forward because she refused to sign the contract every other contestant signed. This was just one of numerous lies by her. This is the other side of the story. Beauty pageant winner Kaylee Bush used to admire Miss America, but now she's ripping the organization for being unable to define what a woman is, along with the disagreements over trans women, which led to her being stripped of her crown. We got Kaylee on Capitol Hill, and our photog asked her about her beef with Miss America, and she explained how some controversial language in a Miss America contract led to a falling out. Kaylee was crowned.
What's the language?
That's what we all want to know. Miss North Florida in September 2024, but 2 months later, she was stripped of her crown because she refused to sign a contract with Miss America that she says went against her beliefs, namely that women also included biological males
What'd I tell you?
undergo transgender reassignment surgery. She says the contract would have opened the door for her to compete against transgender women, which she wasn't on board with. And when she didn't sign on the dotted line, Miss America stripped her crown. Katie's got a new crown and sash, though, proudly showing off her Miss Sheely's America distinction and touting her celebrity support. In an interesting conversation, the whole saga has tarnished Miss America in Katie's eyes. Okay, a spokesperson for Miss America tells... So this did happen today.
Yeah, it happened today.
Tells
And that
TMZ,
contract that I shared with you has
Miss
that
America's position is grounded in uniform application of rules, fairness to all contestants, and adherence to non-discrimination principles. Well, you discriminate against women if you allow men to compete. The contract does not compel Ms. Bush to compromise her personal beliefs. It requires only that all contestants compete under the same standards and refrain from discriminatory conduct towards others. So TMZ, stupid TMZ, this headline is retarded.
Yeah, but they gave you exactly what we were looking for. So if you pull that contract up, I showed
It's retarded. They don't show, but that's not the contract. I don't know.
No. Read what they say. The reason why. So she says, namely, that women also go back up.
That they get to compete, right? That's what you're getting
and
at.
so if you go scroll down or scroll
So they say that if you want to compete, you just have to have your surgery done. That was down over here.
it was at the very top.
No, but over here is where it says transition that they come call.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. So that's it. So she disagreed with that, and I understand that. I'm not saying that that's not something to stand on business for, but I don't think that's agreeing with it. I'm trying to play a little devil's advocate here. You know what I mean? I don't know if I would have signed that contract.
Well, she's basically saying I don't want to compete with men.
But if you're not prettier than a man after transitioning, honey, I'm sorry. You got a problem there.
Okay. I will point this out to you. That it's not like they find the prettiest woman to win the Miss America contest.
But that is a huge part of it. We just had the conversation about the lady that couldn't find
You're talking about an organization. Let's stop for a second here. I'm totally disagreeing with what you're saying here.
Okay.
Because you're talking about an organization that's willing to recognize men as being women. If they're willing to recognize men as being women, what the hell is to stop them from pretending that some chick with a beard is the hottest one in the room?
Yeah, of course.
So if they pretend that, then you're going to end up losing to that chick with a beard. Doesn't matter how hideous they are.
My pushback on the situation is
these are the same people who refer to like all these folks as stunning and brave.
I don't disagree with your point. My point is that why didn't she just come out and say that to begin with? Hey, there's a thing in here that says this, instead of playing coy about it and hiding behind it. And to me, she was making the issue way larger, like there was some sort of clause in there that said she had to actually speak on behalf of transgender people.
You're correct in that.
That's what I'm talking about.
You're correct.
Instead, she could have just said this. Look, they want me to compete against these people. There's a clause in there that says all you have to do is transition, and I don't believe in that.
Right.
But she never did. She tried to make it bigger than what it is, and rightfully so. She should have stood on business on it, but she should have just told the truth. And I think this whole kerfuffle would be, these TMZ stuff wouldn't have any teeth to it.
Yeah. Well, she should have specified that. I agree.
Yeah, but she didn't, and that therein lies the problem. To where I go, why didn't you?
Yeah.
Also, like seriously, like if you can't beat a guy in a dress, then I would be protesting just like those people outside of Target. Like,
and the other thing that she said there, which I think that Miss America is correct about, is that she's saying she lost her crown. and they're saying she didn't lose her crown.
She
still has her
vacated it.
crown. No, she didn't vacate. She still has it.
Oh yeah, so she still has her Miss Florida crown, but she didn't move on in the competition to the
Yeah, but she still has her crown. She's just not competing.
yeah, she's still Miss Florida. Gotcha.
Like imagine some woman wins the contest and can't compete in Miss America because they get meningitis or something, you know.
Yeah.
So now they still keep the crown, and she too keeps the crown. And she definitely implied
There
that she
just
did
won't
not
be a
keep the
Miss
crown.
Florida at the Miss America pageant this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
exactly.
is stupid. I mean, I don't think that they should be up there on stage competing against men. That's just illogical. That's
Right.
completely illogical. That's insane. But
But her beef was improperly stated.
exactly.
Is
It
your
made
point.
it sound like she was going to have to go around and speak on behalf of transgenders being, right or
Right,
her belief.
exactly.
Yeah, and that's
there's a million genders. That's how she made it sound, as if she's gonna have to get up on stage and say, well, all these different genders should have, all these different genders should be recognized by humankind, and that's not at all what they were asking her to do. I agree with you on that. That was misleading.
hmm And there was no reason for it. That's where I go, come on, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. It's probably poor lawyering. It's probably
You
a
think so?
stupid. It's probably a stupid lawyer told her to say that,
It feels to me
or PR
like
person.
it's more of a PR stunt than she's actually means what she's saying. That's the way it comes off to me now.
All right, we're gonna move on from this.
Yeah, because you yelled at me. You wait. I'm gonna send you a very strongly worded DM after this show. You better. You're getting a night letter, Joe.
I'm getting a night letter.
It's Sin representing Alabama. Oh man, Alabama's been.
I'll file it with the
Miss
same
America.
person that Target manager is
Is
going
that
to
what
file her.
you're gonna
person.
just quote the Hispanic lady?
I'm going to file that very important letter that I'm going to read very carefully. Yeah, that's I had here. I wanted to talk about Bondi appearing before the House today.
Yeah.
That means Massachusetts promoting child transitions are now okay.
Miss America.
Oh, Miss America promoting child transitions not okay. Yeah. Does the House vote on tariffs have any impact on the Supreme Court case on tariffs and presidential power? No, not until it passes. It should not have any impact. Good question, though. No, it is a good question.
A series of bats in the chat. We don't talk about Cynthia Rabbit on this show. This is a family show. We don't discuss the degeneracy that happens on my channel. All right, let's not bring that here. This is a wholesome channel.
All right. Well, I want to share with you a few moments from Pam Bondi today.
Oh, she finally did something. Thank you, Pam.
She did finally do something. I actually opened this show. I opened this show with a clip of her in what I labeled at the start of the show. I know you always tune out when I'm doing that part of the show, so you probably missed it. And some folks might not have been here the entire 2 hours and 7 minutes, so they too may have missed it. But this was her, what I call her best moment as since she got sworn in as AG.
She should have had way many of these. So many more of these moments so far. Pam's such a letdown.
She really is.
So disappointing.
Such a disaster.
Every time I see her, I just hang my head.
This is her arguing with Jamie Raskin.
Ooh.
Talks about they indicted. The president said they indicted him twice.
Mr. Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock
did.
and stop the
he
clock and
indicted-
restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
The time belongs to the gentleman from New York.
Look how happy he
We'll
is.
give you a few more seconds.
He is. I mean, he's
So
like,
happy.
He's like a pig in mud right here.
Yeah, he is so excited.
He is.
We will do that. But when you ask a question, the witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she gets to
The question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like the answer, Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming
So
my-
he asked a
Reclaiming my
4-minute
time.
question.
Restore 45
and
seconds,
I
Mr.
am
Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr.
ask
Chairman.
answer.
Nadler has no
You can let
idea
it-
where he's even at right now. He's like, wait,
He's looking around
where's
like-
the country time buffet? I was going to lunch.
He's like,
Where
what's
am I?"
happening here? What's happening?
Filibuster.
But this is the part which you're gonna like. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Please, Mr. Chairman.
Answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch. Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I
anything,
did tell you because we
washed
saw
up
what you did in the
loser
Senate.
Lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Look at Jim Jordan's face.
Oh, he's so excited. That's what made me laugh more than what Pam did. It's for him. He's so happy to see it.
He's so excited by this. He's loving it.
Time, and I should get back at least 45 seconds.
We will give you a few more seconds. I
Not a
said that
few more,
already.
45 seconds.
Okay, I'm timing right now, Mr.
Talks
Time.
about
But that was
45 seconds.
that was.
Jordan, what are you doing up here?
I thought that was hilarious.
That was glorious. Thanks, Pam. You should have way more viral moments by this deep into the administration. So
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
so this is where like people question like her effectiveness today. Here's another moment from today.
All right.
the Dow. The Dow.
Actually, let me see if I can find. I'm gonna find a better moment.
She had more than one good moment today.
Mm,
Oh, come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. You should have closed on the good moment instead of like making me excited for it and then now going, well, she's still Pam Bondi.
she is still Pam Bondi. This is probably the best way for me to find a whole bunch of clips together. All right, it's from today. All right, so
All
let's see what we got here.
I love Nadler getting on.
Abandoning victims and coddling perpetrators is what you do best. When the FBI opened a criminal investigation into the brutal killing in Minneapolis of Renee Good, a poet and 37
Oh, shut up. A poet. A poet. She's a poet.
She did slam poetry,
poet.
Joe.
Is that what she
you know?
did?
No, I bet you she did though.
Yeah.
I
A
wouldn't doubt
poet.
it. She hung out at many coffee shops, Miss Bondi. Didn't you know that?
Oh my God.
by Trump's masked paramilitary ICE agents, you shut it down. You claim you're investigating the cold-blooded murder of Alex Preddy, an ICU nurse at the VA. But how can we trust the administration when the president and Kristi Noem call Preddy a domestic terrorist and Stephen Miller called him a would-be assassin? Not only do you refuse to share
Well, we saw how violent he is. He's dude's a psychopath.
evidence with
He
the
really
state
hurt
and
that
local
expedition. I was upset.
He was all up in that. He was all up on that expedition, but yeah.
prosecutors in Minnesota, you have blocked their access to the crime scene and the evidence. How are you seeking justice for Marimar Martinez?
This is what they
the
do.
Montessori school teacher in Chicago who was shot 5 times by a Border Patrol agent who bragged about it on text. Or the family of Keith Porter, a father of 2 shot and killed.
No one knows these people because they're illegal aliens.
yeah.
They're illegal aliens who were killed.
I was about to say,
And I
don't
have
know who any of
absolutely
these
no
people are.
doubt that those shootings were justified. I have no doubt at all that these shootings were
By
justified.
an off-duty ICE agent in LA, or the family of Silverio Villegas Gonzalez, shot and killed in Illinois minutes after he dropped his kids off at school. There's no sign of any movement at the Department of Justice.
Well, trust me, I'm on board with you with saying there's no sign of any movement, but the movement we should be seeing is against Clapper, Comey, and Brennan, and Barack Obama. That's the movement we should be seeing, but we don't see. We don't see that at all. But let's see if we can find some more clips here, because I lost all my clips when I had to shut down everything here.
Wait a second. Do you mean to honestly tell us, and you're under oath, that if we take violent criminals off the streets, we end up with less crime?
I certainly hope so, Congressman, and that's our goal, and that's
an
President Trump's
extraordinary concept, and I'm afraid it may be lost on some of our Democratic colleagues. I look at these numbers and they're absolutely staggering. It didn't happen by accident. It happened because of specific policies that you've implemented this year. Wait a second.
Yeah. So all right, that's a little bit. Yeah,
just a little milk toast, a little bland, a little like it's just that's the problem though, is like the conservatives will give her like these layups and these like, these questions that don't really go viral. There's no reason for them. And then, you get one good little viral moment right there between what her and Raskin or her and Nadler. And those are great, but you've had so many opportunities to be one of the better AGs we've ever had with everything everything that is within her grasp to do would submit her in history. And she's just been like, eh.
Yes. She's cowered away from the moment
Every single time. It's so disappointing.
Letitia James, Adam Schiff. So many of these people she should have been going after.
Yeah.
It's done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files.
I reclaim my time. I got your answer.
This is her versus Ted Lieu. This is Ted Lieu. Ted Lieu he's a compulsive liar.
Sir, you said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Chairman, please stop the clock. Please stop the clock.
So now he's about to invoke here. Ted Lieu, I saw this clip earlier. Ted Lieu is about to invoke here this crazy woman. I mean, she seemed crazy. There's a clip of a woman who basically was running around screaming that she had been sexually assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump together.
Okay.
This was many years ago.
All right.
And he's going to tell you her story.
This is
Time.
this
I'd like
is
to
ridiculous.
belongs, time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample
you had
evidence.
just a ride. He's trying to not do the accent. You can hear Joe. I sorry, please press a pray. Wait, you can hear him trying so hard.
You're being racist against Africans.
In the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you. Here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop a limo and hurt Donald Trump. He met.
You have something on your mind?
I can't. Sorry, I'm distracted by.
You need to listen to what he's saying here because I'm going to have a conversation with you about it afterwards.
Okay, all right. So I have a quiz.
So focus.
All right. Okay. Just.
So he's saying this is a report that came into the FBI from a limo driver.
Yeah.
Who was overhearing Donald Trump and was so angry he almost pulled the limo over.
Situation. Yeah.
Operations Center.
I rack a discipline. Wait,
drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop a limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein.
Wait.
She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell. So should the men who patronized his operation. And as we sit here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
It's done.
So
you're a Raka Anna, a Pam Bondi. Wait, sorry. That makes no sense, Joe. That story made no sense.
Why?
So wait, he said that he overheard Donald Trump discussing something with Jeffrey Epstein involving this young lady, and then afterwards he met this young lady, and then that young lady,
sounds very not plausible at all.
At all. How would he just randomly?
How does he know this is the same young woman there? Like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yes.
What is he talking about?
Yeah, it makes zero sense. The story made zero sense. It's not
It,
plausible.
it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah. So I was so
The
mad.
other thing is the reality is anything this guy could tell them is 1000% hearsay. Like literally, I heard this person say, it's so not beneficial to any. If you're objective,
right?
Not remotely.
Exactly.
It's like there's no judge in the world who would allow any of these statements in. I overheard Trump make a statement
One time.
While I was driving a limo, I overheard him make a statement admitting to to a crime. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I met this other woman and she told me her story. Everything she told him, hearsay. Doesn't matter if she's dead. Still hearsay.
Yeah.
Unless it's a dying declaration.
Yeah.
Which to qualify for a dying declaration is really, really hard. Like the person has to literally be dying and saying, Trump did it. But like that's what a dying declaration is. So someone says, "Oh yeah, they told me Trump did it." Like, but not a declaration that's made and then later the person dies or is murdered. That's not a dying declaration. So no. None of this is remotely admissible. So what the hell do you want Pam Bondi? If my goal is, if I'm the prosecutor, my goal is to put away anyone who did anything as heinous as harming a woman, especially if that woman was, a girl underage, that I really want to put these people away. The last thing I would be doing is wasting my time talking to some limo driver. I mean, unless you think that he's got something that he can provide that is going to be useful to dig into other things that would be admissible evidence. Yeah. Nothing he tells me is admissible
whatsoever. Yeah, it's all hearsay. 100%.
Oh, none of it. Right. So like, I mean, I guess if there's a statement against interest that Trump made.
I was about to say, could you bring him in for something like that? Just sort of a character witness?
If he, not character witness, but if he says, I heard Trump say this, well, in that case, that would be something that could be a statement against interest, which could be admissible in theory.
But even that, there's no way that would be a slam dunk to put Trump away for anything. So
I mean, of course not.
It's
of
what
course not.
A guy an old guy who I started a business with years ago, an old Jewish guy said, it's called pissing up a rope. It just makes no sense. You're wasting your time. So
only Jewish people use that phrase? Because I've heard that phrase many times. So I'm wondering.
I've only ever
I'm
heard
always
it,
surrounded by Jews, so like that's why I want to know.
I've only ever been told that phrase by an old Jewish guy.
That's not something non-Jews say.
I've never heard it from anyone else but this old Jewish guy I started a tree service business with.
Pissing up a rope?
Yes. I've never once heard it before or since.
This is gonna be a poll now. I gotta know if people.
So you've heard that phrase before?
Many, like ever since I was a kid.
He's also from New York originally before he moved.
It could be a New York phrase.
Could be a New York phrase, but he was an old Jewish guy. And I've met New Yorkers. Like I grew up with a family from New York, who came down to my local town and started like a pizza shop.
Have you ever heard the phrase?
Pissing into the wind's a southern nomenclature. I've heard that.
I never heard that one before. I don't know
that's
what that means.
That's what my dad would say. But he's an old southern redneck, so just pissing into the wind, boy.
Everything's always gonna be about race with you. Yes.
You know what, man?
Jewish.
Sometimes. All right. Every once in a while. It's just
yes. Every once in a while. I'm not Jewish. An option. No.
It's probably something in the Torah. You just skipped over it.
Thou shalt not piss up rope.
Piss up rope. Yeah. It's right next to the pig thing. You just got really hung up on that. Oh, man.
We're gonna have all the Jews expose themselves here.
Every one of you guys. Here we go. This is my plan the entire time.
Have you ever heard the phrase pissing up a rope and have yes, I'm Jewish, yes, I'm not Jewish, no, I'm Jewish, no, I'm not Jewish?
Somebody says Sid takes a break from racism on Saturdays. That's right.
That's pretty good.
Somebody said, "Can we get that in Yiddish?"
It's not in Yiddish.
I mean, could you say it in Yiddish?
I wouldn't know how. I don't speak Yiddish.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You're one of the non-Yiddish guys.
I am one of the few. All right.
That's very weird though, because I mean, like I said, this is an older guy. He's from New York. It was during COVID. We started a tree service business together, and I was doing something one day, trying to take a tree down without busting a fence, and the guy was like, "You're just down there pissing up a rope," and I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? These are chains. There's no ropes here." So, Sin is not a bigot. He hates everyone equally. Exactly. Thank you. Sin says my dad is a redneck, like he's not. I am in a murder cabin right now with 1, 2, 3, 4 guns around me. So maybe.
So here's Pam Bondi doing exactly what I hate.
Being Pam Bondi. What? Breathing?
Watch what happens when a 50-year-old man walks DHT naturally for just 90 days.
Nice commercial.
You won.
Big retailers don't want you to have.
Oh my gosh, these stupid ads.
There's nothing they can do.
You should probably get an ad blocker.
Well, there's this new
2026.
Okay. Here she is, just being very Pamish.
Hugging trees is not a service. I chop those dirty trees down.
Can I get your attention for a moment?
You got it, man.
Thanks.
Didn't ask Merrick Garland anything about Epstein, not once when he was
Weak sauce.
And also, I want the record to reflect.
Weak sauce. I feel like I'm talking to my nephew right now.
I forgot about that moment. It is a pretty funny moment. It is a pretty funny moment. Like, how old are you?
97.
Who says that? Anyway, but this is where Pam Bondi loses me.
That, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
Oh,
is
Jewish.
I just want to be clear.
Oy vey.
Oh, hold on. Let's.
Go there, Attorney General. Or do you want to go there? Are you serious?
Gentleman
talking
from
about
South
anti-Semitism
Carolina.
to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust? Really?
The committee will be in order.
Talk to Jerry Wise about anti-Semitism.
The ranking member knows that.
Can I get 30 seconds back,
Yeah, I've been.
Now we got non-Jews screaming about anti-Semitism. Why?
Wait, hold on.
Why?
The lady's not Jewish. The lady had just walked up.
I don't care about whether she's Jewish or not. My point is, why is Pam Bondi invoking anti-Semitism? Just stop it. Oh my God.
It's a major cudgel right now, Joe. Say oy vey. You know you want to. You're fighting the urge to say oy vey.
Why? I don't need to hear you doing this.
It's so easy. Because it's so easy. It's a very easy thing right now.
It's so gay. And I don't mean that in a good way.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I don't think I've ever heard something be called gay in the good way. What are you talking about, Joe?
No, I've heard people use the term in a good way.
Yeah, in the 50s. It's so invoking the anti-Semitism card nowadays is so
This
easy.
is some
on the right.
Some blonde hair, blue-eyed chicks are invoking anti-Semitism. I don't understand what's happening here.
Well, ever since what was it? October, what was the date? 10th? Or October 8th, whatever.
Stop it.
No, but ever since then, right? The left has been quote unquote anti-Semitic. So it's very easy to nail the left with that phrase now. It's so easy.
Everything about this is so stupid. Like, I don't
I
need
agree.
to hear her screaming that it's anti-Semitism. I'm just like, just stop it. Just shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
October 7th. I got the date completely wrong. The chat is just
Yeah, well,
right
then
now.
why would it be an important date to you? It was, I guess maybe that's when you have parties or something. So
But wait, hold up. I hung out with Nick Fuentes one time, and now I'm super anti-Semitic.
she also appealed the dismissal of the cases against Tish James and James Comey. It was what was covered on Watching the Watchers at Robert G's channel. Oh,
Yeah.
So I guess that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Robert Gouveia is great.
Oh yeah, I love Robert Gouveia. He's an awesome guy.
How can anyone not? I got one or two more clips here of Pam.
To address the Epstein files, more than 500 attorneys and reviewers spent thousands of hours painstakingly reviewing millions of pages to comply with Congress's law.
Why didn't you unredact the names? Because this is where I have an issue with her.
We've released more than 3 million pages,
And still holding 3 million more.
including 180,000 images, all to the public.
What about all the videos?
Doing our very best in the time frame allotted by the legislation to protect victims. And if you brought us a victim's name that was inadvertently released, we immediately redacted it. All members of Congress, as you know, are invited to visit DOJ to see for yourselves. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the Epstein survivors who are here today. I'm a career prosecutor, and despite what the ranking member said, I have spent my entire career fighting for victims, and I will continue to do so. I am deeply sorry for what any victim has been through, especially as a result of that monster. If you have any information to share with law enforcement about anyone who has hurt you or abused you, the FBI is waiting to hear from you. I want you to know that any accusations of criminal wrongdoing will be taken seriously and investigated. The Department of Justice is
All right, I
committed.
don't need to hear from you anymore.
I'm glad there's not a quiz on this one. I still don't understand. I get redacting the victims' names, of course, but why was so much redacted from everything I've looked at? Like, there is so much stuff that didn't need to be redacted that's redacted.
Why are they redacting names of people who sending emails?
Yeah. Those should not be redacted at all. Only the victim's name should be redacted. That's it.
Yeah. I don't understand that at all. Amazing Disgrace asks, could this be a ploy to get Dems to demand something they would otherwise fight against releasing? Yeah, it could have been, but still, at this point, why would you redact those names? There's no explanation for that. That's a choice you made to redact those names. Anyway, this is a clip which supposedly is her answering her on her redaction. So let's, because I haven't seen her explanation on that yet. Maybe someone in the audience can share a clip with me where she explains it. But here's a clip which supposedly it has her answering it.
Hey, Attorney General Pam Bondi was in the hot seat over the DOJ's handling of the Epstein files. Democrats and at least one Republican criticized the agency for redacting the names of possible co-conspirators, but not redacting some information about Jeffrey Epstein's victims. Epstein died in 2019 while awaiting trial for sex trafficking.
Are you going to give us her answer?
So far, the only co-conspirator serving time is Ghislaine Maxwell. Today, emotions boiled over as lawmakers pressed in on the DOJ's investigation.
I got to run my puppy outside. I'll be right back.
To apologize to survivors at the hearing. Bondi instead defended the DOJ's handling of the files.
We were given 30 days to review.
Is that what she says? It contaminates the trial?
And redact and unredact millions of pages of documents. Our error rate is very low.
Several of Epstein survivors were at today's hearing. Bondi did later apologize to them and promised to fight for those victims.
Yeah, promise to fight for those victims. Contaminates the trial. I don't buy it. Then the question becomes, why haven't you prosecuted anyone yet? Why haven't you prosecuted anyone? It can't be both. You know, it's like there's no one to prosecute and we're also not going to release their names. Can't be both. Doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense to me, at least. I can't understand it. I'm just trying to find if anyone here has a clip on this. Oh, here's one.
Back, the gentleman from California is recognized, Mr. Correa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I think this will have an answer
welcome,
here.
Ms. AG Bondi. I agree with you. Our top priority should be protecting Americans. In my past life in the California State Legislature, I did a lot of work on solving sex crimes, passing legislation to update our codes. And I found that the biggest challenge to solving sex crimes is reporting them. Victims have to have the guts to stand up to report those sex crimes. But it's not easy.
I agree with you, Camille. She comes out like I am outraged.
Sex crime there is. Crime there is sex crimes. It's painful, humiliating. A lot of times the victims don't think anything's gonna come out of their reporting these crimes.
And Rafe, if you're correct, let's assume you're right. There's no one to prosecute, so humiliate them.
Then we have adults.
By following the
whose
law.
Children were molested, boys and girls who will live in silence for the rest of their life. I believe the Epstein files are just one of many sex rings, sex crimes taking place in our society today. I hear 1,200 Epstein victims, some additional victims as young as 9 to 10 years old. The challenge I have today, what bothers me today about this hearing, Madam AG, is what's the message we're sending out there on Main Street? Shouldn't ask a question I don't know an answer to, but I'm going to ask the victims behind you right now. First, can you please stand up? And then, can you please raise your hand if you think after everything you've heard today, you feel that our AG, the feds have your back? Do we have your back? Raise your hand if you're confident that we got your back. And that's the issue, Madam AG. We've got to make sure that victims stand up and report the crimes.
It's true.
Otherwise, we're going to be taking a step backwards. Today, AI, cyber, social media, the new realm for people to be hurt, attacked sexually. These are the areas I'd welcome the opportunity to work with you on. It's not your problem. It's not my problem. It's our problem. But to have redacted files that are not showing us the names of these predators.
Go get them.
Is wrong.
Go get them. Go get them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Good. Let's see what she has to say about this.
These are very powerful people. This was a very expensive business. And we don't know who they are. I would imagine they're very prominent Republicans, very Republican Democrats.
Yeah.
And we are covering up for them.
And I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat. I want their names exposed.
You got to know what's going on.
This is not political allegiance here.
It looks like you want to say something. I'm going to give the opportunity to address.
Yeah, I want the Republicans exposed more than the Democrats because that's the people I'm voting for.
With you on any crimes involving child sex predators, children, and also cyber crimes. That is a tremendous problem.
Yeah, okay, get to the real answer.
AI, you are correct. AI is causing great problems.
Oh my God.
Regarding, we're working on that though. AI is an incredible
Give
tool,
us the answer
but
to his
it also
question.
can be fraught with peril with victims of crime. I've experienced that with someone I know who we've been trying to help. I look forward to working with you on that and all
Madam-
cyber crimes. Can I?
Please go ahead.
And as I said before, to any victims,
Oh my
we
God.
ask them to come forward to our office, and we want to work.
Answer
with
the
them.
question,
I've never not
Blondie.
worked with a victim, and I believe to
She's
several
getting there, Joe.
Reclaim my time. I
sitting
only have a minute.
behind me.
I can reclaim my time. I just think we start out by making sure those
Where's the
redactions
redactions?
are unredacted.
Yeah.
Those Epstein files, to make sure that the public, according to the law, following the law, that those names in those files are made public. We have to make sure we tell those predators.
Okay,
there is
now
no
get her
place for them
response.
to
Stop
hide.
talking.
And if they commit the crime, they're going to fry for it. It starts with showing us the names of the perpetrators in the Epstein files.
May I respond to that?
Sure.
Please do.
If any man's name was redacted that should not have been, we will, of course, unredact it.
Oh, really?
Oh.
When will that happen?
Yeah.
When the hell will that happen?
Victim's name was unredacted, please bring it to us and we will redact it. We were given 30 days to review
And we spent 90.
redact and unredact millions of pages of documents.
You had 9 months. You were supposed to be releasing the Epstein files without there being some law passed. I don't want to hear 30 days. You were supposed to be doing this for months and months and months. Ridiculous.
Our error rate is very low,
The
but there are
victims are
always
right
gonna be
behind you. We've
errors
got to convince
on
them
both sides,
that we're doing a
and
good
we're
job
doing everything
of
we can to help
protecting
the
them.
victims. We will
Thank
do
you, Mr.
everything we can.
Chair. I'm out of time.
Oh my God. You see, because you were blah, 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 blah. Too
And
much.
you never nailed her down. I mean,
Yeah,
he
nail her
had
down.
Yeah. He had a good point that he made, but he never nailed her down. He never. It's so exhausting. It's
We,
so
of course,
tiring.
will unredact it.
Yeah. Of course we will.
I really believe that. I'm totally confident about that. Believable. So aggravating.
Every bit of it.
So damn aggravating. Hello, hello, our fearless leader. I'm late. Was unearthing and ironing my tracksuit. Oh, well, that's
I've
so nice.
I've really been mailing those out and getting them to people. So just
Good job.
keep an eye on your. Yeah.
Good job, you. A claim that redacting the names to not contaminate trials rings hollow since she unredacted the names when Massey called her out.
Mm-hmm.
You need to see a response to Massey for the answer. It's not a good one. All right, so I'm going to pull up Massey.
Oh, more Bondi.
This is important stuff.
It is very important stuff. I don't disagree with that at all. It's just she's just so disappointing. Just so
Thank
damn
you, Mr. Chairman.
disappointing.
Behind me, I have 3.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. You want me to watch Brandon Gill questioning Pam Bondi today? We'll see if we can get that. We'll see if we can get there. It's going to start with Massey. Okay.
Massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victim's lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact, or sorry, a list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there.
Stupid.
The next document I want to show you.
How embarrassing.
That was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking. Co-conspirators, fully redacted. And by the way, I'm going to unredact them here.
Oh.
Les Wexner is in this.
Oh.
Now, your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution.
Oh.
Not the money laundering,
Wow.
child sex trafficking.
Wow. Wow. Les Wexner is the former owner of
Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret. I think he's dead
Yeah.
now. Yeah, but
Doesn't matter.
And then finally,
of course,
Shame him.
of course doesn't. Yeah, agreed.
what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI and it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see.
Wow.
Because we can't search the redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a
Can I finish
co-conspirator.
my answer?
So far, you're off to a poor start.
Yeah, you're literally repeating. You're doing what they call mirroring in order to filibuster.
Come on, let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time.
He was,
Mr. Chairman.
Isn't how this works.
Can I have my time back? Mr. Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from.
All right, I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer on that? It's a political joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
Red-handed. There was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a
I don't like that snicker.
What?
I don't like that snicker that she has. This is not like, this isn't funny.
No.
You know what I mean? Like you're trying to get a viral moment here, and this isn't funny whatsoever.
This is really bad luck.
Invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get. You're a
Wow, really? That made me cringe. Oh.
Now just imagine she had said anti-Semitism. It's the same thing.
Look, this is anti-Semitism and Trump derangement syndrome, Massey. Like, what are you?
You're just like, it's like, just stop it.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness.
What the heck? How did we get to? How did it jump to that? That was the weirdest thing. This is a House meeting. This is PBS News.
Was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
Red-handed. There was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a co-conspirator.
and we invited you in. This guy has Trump
Gentlemen.
derangement syndrome. He needs to get. You're a failed politician.
Gentlemen,
You need to
I
get
want
on
you to
these
watch the video.
matters.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
That's a PBS glitch. I don't know what the hell they're talking that happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't-
bigger
when
than
you can't-
Watergate.
when I don't answer a question the
This
way you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
Now,
where the
I want to know at what
transparent-
point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not. And it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
May she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them, hypocrite.
The gentleman's time has expired.
Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I would, Mr. Chairman, could she answer the question?
Chairman, I was wondering. The gentlelady's allowed, the Attorney General's allowed to respond.
What the hell is that? What kind of answer is that? What the hell is that? What is happening here with this woman?
The wish he wants to respond to any member's questions, Republican, Democrat.
All right, I have unanimous consent request.
Gentleman's recognized for a UC.
All right, this is an example. I'm submitting these 302 forms that are entirely redacted, even when you go to look at them.
Without objection.
I'm submitting a witness statement that implicates Les Wexner.
Without objection.
I'm submitting an article from the New York Times that the DOJ released nude photos and identifiable pictures of the victims. I'm submitting a letter from AG Bondi to Kash Patel, imploring him to quit keeping the files when you found out that they were keeping files from you, because they're still redacting files that you.
Chairman, are we going to,
I'm
going to recess for votes?
Yes, we are.
I'm submitting for unanimous consent a document of 17 individuals who've resigned because of the Epstein files.
Without objection.
Support journalism you
So there you go. It's not journalism I trust. I wouldn't support them at all. And you can support me because I'm journalism you trust, but I wouldn't support the PBS.
Support Joe. I trust him.
Do you?
A little bit. Sometimes. My biggest thing is like what I kept seeing through the Epstein stuff when I had a chance to peruse Twitter was like stuff about Howard Lutnick being in the files and stuff like that. And he advises Trump.
Mm-hmm. That's a problem.
And we've done nothing.
But the question is, in what capacity is he listed? I mean, Trump is in there 38,000 times, and every time he's referenced, it makes him look better. I haven't looked into. Have you looked at all into Howard Lutnick?
I've got
whether any of it looks bad.
So the way my show works is we'll touch pretty much any topic, right? Especially if we can make it funny. Trying to make the Epstein files funny is not something we're able to do. But I do have a guy on my show that is looking through everything. And we might do like a special episode, sort of like what we did with Charlie Kirk and things like that, where it's like, all right, we will make, try to do this as lighthearted as possible, but this is a very serious subject.
Big surprise that you're zeroing in on Howard Lutnick's team. So,
well, you know me, I'm nothing but consistent.
We had a request here to watch Brandon Gill. If you have some other thoughts, I want to hear that first before we do that, though.
This is my thoughts so far with all of this is it's an absolute damn mess. It's a shame.
It's a cluster fart.
Everybody involved should be ashamed.
Yeah, they should.
Everyone. Yep. This is. I'm not exaggerating when I say this is the biggest open secret of probably our lifetime. Everybody's known all these people were involved. Wexner being involved with Epstein has been known for 10, 15, 20 years now. I knew about it.
Everyone assumed it was financial. No one knew it was sexual.
Look at Wexner. Come on now. You can't tell me. And again, you obviously you can't take that in a court of law. But and I know, being in the type of business that I'm in, type of business that you're in, when you look at a certain person, you go, something about that guy makes my stomach turn a little bit. Yeah. Something about that person. You can read a guy.
Yeah.
All these people have been out in the open for years, and we've done nothing.
That answer to Massey is the kind of answer that should seal her firing. She participated in cover-up to protect the names of the co-conspirators. Well, there's 1,000 reasons to fire her, but I'm down with that one, too. I'm totally down with that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We had a request by Richard Parker to check out Brandon Gill. So should we check out his testimony?
Yeah, we got time. Sure.
Testimony for that.
Mm-hmm.
Madam Attorney General, for taking the time to speak with us. We certainly really appreciate it. I've got a series of questions for you that we can get through pretty quickly, I think. Can you tell me, is it true that the Biden-Harris DOJ raided President Trump's home?
They did.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ allow Jack Smith to spy on over a dozen Republican members of Congress?
Absolutely.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ seize the phone of a sitting Republican congressman?
Yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ and Jack Smith pay at least $20,000 to confidential human sources to provide information on President Trump?
At least.
At least. Did the Biden-Harris DOJ and FBI fail to apprehend the suspect who placed pipe bombs near the Capitol ahead of January 6th?
Yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ target parents as domestic terrorists?
Absolutely.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ target pro-life Catholics, going so far as to interview a priest and a choir director?
Yes.
Did Did the Biden-Harris DOJ send FBI SWAT teams to arrest pro-life advocates with no criminal histories?
Yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ use the FACE Act to target pro-life advocates while it allowed anti-life agitators to vandalize, destroy, and firebomb pregnancy resource centers and churches?
Multiple times, I believe.
Multiple times. Did the Biden-Harris DOJ ever determine who leaked the Dobbs decision?
Changed to get it passed.
I can't discuss that. No, under Biden-Harris.
Got it.
No.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ and FBI target whistleblowers for revealing waste, fraud, and abuse within the department to Congress?
Not to my knowledge.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ refuse to say whether it coordinated with Alvin Bragg, Fani Willis, and Letitia James in their lawfare against President Trump?
They refused.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ slow walk the criminal investigation and prosecution of Hunter Biden?
That's an understatement, in my opinion.
Yep. Did the Biden-Harris DOJ determine who brought cocaine into the Biden White House?
They did not.
They did not. Did the Biden-Harris DOJ cover up the
Well,
extent?
as far as we know, they did not.
Right, that's right. Did the Biden-Harris DOJ cover up the extent of the Russia collusion hoax?
Absolutely, in my opinion. Yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ, seek leniency from a federal court for an IRS contractor who leaked sensitive tax information on over 7,600 Americans, including President Trump?
Yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ sue Texas because the state wanted to secure its own southern border?
Yes.
And finally, did the Biden-Harris DOJ attack SpaceX for hiring too many Americans?
I believe they did.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. And I appreciate that a lot of this is being cleaned up under your leadership. So thank you for returning the DOJ back to its core focus, which is on the rule of law. And I think that we see the results of that. I've got a few more similar questions for you. How have, over the past year since President Trump has been in office, how have murders trended in the United States?
Since President Trump has been in office, the murder rate has dropped to a historic 20% drop in the national murder rate, lowest since 1900.
20% drop in 1 year. That's incredible, isn't it?
And that's thanks to the incredible men and women of law enforcement, FBI, DEA, ATF, everyone working together to solve violent crime, along with our sheriffs, our local law enforcement, working as a team throughout this country, and our great state and federal prosecutors.
Yep. And how have robberies trended? Have they gone, even if they've just gone up or down?
Robberies, all violent crime, all violent crime has decreased, as well as robberies.
So murders, violent crime, the country is more safe now, it's fair to say, would you agree, than it was a year and a half ago under Joe Biden?
Absolutely. And Director Patel is working tirelessly to.
All right. So this is a lot of fluff. I mean, it's not fluff in that it's insignificant. It's all significant, but like, it's really not about Epstein. It's a matter of trying to say, look, this DOJ is doing a great job. And that's all. Those are all important things. I'm not looking to diminish that. And if not for the fact that Epstein is looming over them, this is something they could really properly tout. I wasn't sure if I pulled this up earlier, so that's why I just wanted to make sure I did. But we excuse your lateness. It's totally fine.
I'm looking at the Howard Lutnick stuff that was sent to me right quick. And so what we have is Howard Lutnick made a statement, said when he was convicted, Jeffrey Epstein was convicted in 2008, that him and his wife had been neighbors of his for 20 years, and he completely cut off all ties. And everything in the Epstein files are contacts and lunch dates. Up to this point, there's 125 times he's mentioned. And up to this point, all the contacts started in 2011.
Okay.
Every one of them.
So that's kind of embarrassing considering he was a known predator at that point.
Yep.
Yeah. To answer the question, those of you who are wondering, we had 200 votes on the have you ever heard the phrase pissing up a rope? And it's literally 50-50.
Wow. How many of them are Jews?
47%.
Names.
Oh, so there you go. There's only 7% Jews total. So 3% saying yes, I'm Jewish.
Sure.
47% saying yes, I'm not Jewish.
Sure.
4% saying no, I'm Jewish. So there are more of the people saying Jewish said they didn't hear it. And 46% saying no, I'm not Jewish.
I believe that, right? A lot of you guys just didn't hit the yes, I'm not Jewish, huh? Okay, I'm watching you. I'll look into this Letnick thing for next week, though. But yeah, I think we are going to try to do an Epstein special on my show. Like I said, we're so lighthearted and cover a lot more funnier locale.
You had 18 hours worth of content without talking about Epstein.
Yeah, we covered him for a brief moment on Friday.
So Captain says he forgot to ask, has the Trump DOJ prosecuted any of those people responsible for their crimes?
No.
Yeah.
Sure haven't.
Yeah.
They haven't even attempted. So.
Yeah. Which is frustrating. It's frustrating as all get out.
Yeah, I've been trying to avoid.
My friend over here, if you want to see him more regularly than just the once a week, I'm willing to have him. Yeah. And if you think that's not enough for you, the once a week, I have him here. You probably should be going over to the FFS podcast.
Yep.
That's F.F.S podcast. Only 2 dots, even though it's 3 initials.
We fixed that, actually. We fixed that because everybody always does that. They complain. It's just FFS cast. We changed that. We took a vote with the chat, took a vote with the panel. It's FFS cast. We made it easier for everybody.
FFS, right.
Yeah. So everybody, we stream Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Usually starting around 6:30 Central Standard Time.
And the reason for that is because if you believe, it might shock you it might not shock you to realize that FFS is actually Sin's real initials.
It's true. Stop doxing me. We stream every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and we cover a lot of Montagraph type people like Ricada used to cover. And then, we do hit topical subjects too, but we've had a lot of news coming out of the people that we cover recently. So we've been doing that.
The link is in the description. I urge you guys to click on it, sign up to him. That's really pretty much the only thing he gets out of hanging out here.
That's it. Show
him the love. Show him the love.
We are 225 people away for being fully monetized. You guys have been fantastic. You have really helped us grow the channel. And we're getting huge numbers. Our shows are really blowing up. So I appreciate it.
Now, FFS podcast link is in the description. I'm going to even put it in the chat.
Yeah.
So this way,
225 of you ain't even got to watch it. Just go over there and just subscribe. You can turn the bell off. I don't care.
Through that, you don't have to. You don't even have to. That whole thing of watching.
You don't have to pay attention to me. You don't have to do it at all. Yeah, you don't. You just go over there, get us to 1,000. That would be amazing. That would be a privilege.
That would be amazing. So in case you can't find the description, if you're relatively new, so yeah, here is pinned in the chat is the link. You just click that link. And you just hit subscribe.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's really that easy. Even I did it.
Yeah, he did. He really did. And I couldn't believe he did that.
Right.
But no, we have a lot of fun over there. We
Right. And right. So I guess the only thing left to tell you is that lab meet is for Miss America contestants. It's not meant for you. And what else do we have? I guess I should remind everyone, do not eat the bugs.
Oh, God, I ate some of the bugs.
Don't do it. All right. Have a good night, everyone. And as always, thank you so much for joining. Hit that like, subscribe, all that other stuff. Drop a comment. Godspeed.